Heyo, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Thank you all for coming to my stream tonight. Let's see, who do we have? Good evening, Skylord. Good evening, Phobia. Good evening, Cringe. Lovely to see you all. And, anyone else who is watching as well, including the folks who are not chatting. So, tonight we have a particularly intriguing concept up for a stream. Oh, and good evening, Grim. Welcome in. Welcome in. So, tonight, I have compiled a presentation of sorts for you all. And, well, may as well show you, as opposed to wasting any more time. Tonight, we shall be going through the Monster Hunter Smash or Pass. You've seen people do it countless times for, what is it, Pokemon? The pocket monsters? Well, I had a different type of monster in mind that I wanted to cover, because I felt like it was very important. Oh, good evening, DHF. Welcome to the stream. So, for starters, there's several core objectives for tonight's stream. Also, I'm going to go ahead and let's give that a minute. There is a core objective, or several, that we have for this presentation. Or this lecture would probably be a more accurate description. So, for starters, we'll be identifying monsters across the entire franchise, which will either receive a Smash or a Pass, depending on numerous different factors. I have decided to exclude small monsters from the list on account of them, for the most part, just being smaller versions of large monsters. And, the few small monsters that I did consider for this, it just wasn't justifiable. So yes, only large monsters. Only the big stars of the show. I'm considering factors beyond just the outward appearance of the monster. We're going to be looking at temperament, general ecology, all of those factors, as they are going to play a significant role in the smashability of certain monsters. Just because you have a very fancy-looking dragon doesn't mean it can get around, I don't know, like wallowing in mud all day. Let us see here. And then also I have opted to exclude a lot of subspecies monsters from the list on account of many of them just simply being a recolor of the previous monster, or just having... they're just a more angry version a lot of the time. It's not... unless it had a significant factor that would sway my opinion, I excluded subspecies. However, there are a few that I included because they have a distinct enough characteristic to warrant being smashed or passed. Also, as is very important with something like this, I have mostly, as much as possible, excluded any outside influences beyond the games themselves. You see, there's a lot of art on the internet. I'm sure we all know that. So, you don't need me to tell you that people have some very interesting ideas regarding certain monsters, and I will be doing my absolute best to avoid letting those influence my opinions. Anyway, with all of that said, let's go and get things started here with the first generation. Also, to make things a little bit more comfy here tonight as we go through the presentation, I have decided to include a little bit of background music. And we'll be just listening to some chill Monster Hunter tunes from throughout the franchise. Let me know now if the volume sounds nice. Will there be a test at the end? No, there shouldn't be. Although I will appreciate, I will say audience input will be acknowledged. Music's a bit too loud? Alrighty, I'll lower it a bit more. It's supposed to be background music, after all. It's not meant to overtake the whole presentation. There we go. Just a little bit of ambience, so it's not dead silent whenever I'm not talking. So yes, on to the first generation. Ooh, almost forgot. Hold on a minute. Hold on a second, folks. Here we are. Had to grab my little pointer stick. There we go. This is very important. Yeah, every good lecture demands a pointer stick. How many games are there? Currently, Monster Hunter is on its 5th generation. I believe in total we're at, in terms of distinct variations that I included in this presentation, it's about 140 or so. It's adorable. Well, I appreciate your compliments, everybody. So, for the first generation of Monster Hunter, we have the Velocidrome. The colors are very appealing, I will say that. Right? It's a very colorful looking lizard. But at the end of the day, it's a bit sharp, a bit feral, a bit angry. Not too much of a fan. So, in the case of Velocidrome, it will receive our first pass. That's another thing as well, I almost forgot. A little bit of a gremlin, indeed. That's a fair assessment there, Cringe. Now, I also forgot to mention, there is an important detail. For each monster, I will be, of course, having a little indicator up in the corner as to whether it's a pass or a smash. And I will rank this on a scale as well, so we can go up to a triple pass, a triple cart, if you will, if we're going on Monster Hunter jokes. If I truly despise a creature, it will be receiving a triple pass. On the flip side, we also have the smash. And in a similar vein, any monster receiving a smash could receive up to a triple smash. There we go. Now that's everything covered for the presentation. So yes, Velocidrome, you receive a regular pass. You enjoy your day now, because I'd rather not enjoy you. Gendrome. A little bit more of the same. Although this one, here's the thing, this one is paralysis base, as opposed to Velocidrome, which just cuts you up with its claws. You see, Gendrome can paralyze you. It has that kind of venom. Now, I'm sure there are some people out there who have a certain type of interest who might find the concept of being paralyzed and left incapable of defending themselves to be appealing in a certain way. I personally do not. So this will also be receiving another pass from me. Next, we have... Don't call me out already. Well, for you, maybe it would have a slightly different score. It would maybe earn some points, of course. These are just my scores. I appreciate all of your input, as I said. Now, we also have Iodrome here as our next one. Iodrome also has a little bit of a difference. This one is poison-based. Poison is generally going to be a negative factor, as just a general rule of thumb to consider throughout this presentation. Going with that as well, it's ugly. It's extremely horrific. I'm not too much of a fan of this thing. The crest is not particularly appealing. The only thing appealing I can think of is, once again, the coloration, and also the potential smoothness of its body. It appears to be salamander-like, so it would probably be relatively pleasant to the touch, but otherwise, not too great. Also going to be receiving another pass. Am I a top or a bottom? That is, neither here nor there for this presentation. So, Iodrome is a pass. Next on our list, we'll be looking at Cephadrome. Okay, I'll be honest with you all, Cephadrome makes me feel horrific feelings of anger and torment every single waking moment. I despise this horrible sand shark almost as much as I despise some other awful thing. I don't know, I'm trying to think of a good comparison off the top of my head, but very few things compared to the Cephadrome. This cretin shall receive a double pass for being the most insufferable, creepy little sand shark. So Cephadrome, be gone from my sight. You receive a double pass from me, my good friend. Not my good friend. That is a courtesy that I should not be giving to you, to say the least. So Cephadrome, double pass. Basarios. Now, Basarios, I will say, is very cute. It has a very cute face. Look, you can see there, Basarios has a very cute face. And it's very round. It's a very round, cute rock creature. The only problem is, well, the middle of that sentence, the rock part. I can't imagine that it would be terribly pleasant. Yeah, it'd be a bit too rough and coarse. Rock and stone, indeed, of course. Can never forget to rock and stone. But, yeah, it's a bit too rough for me. If it was a very smooth, round rock, like if there was a, if there was a tamed Basarios out there that was smoothed out a little bit, I imagine it would be very pleasant. But yeah, Basarios, you also unfortunately receive a pass. You're teetering on the line because it is cute enough, and its general temperament is fairly mild. So on the bright side, we don't have to worry about it being aggressively mean. Y'all taking that Basar Usi for granite. I see we have a class clown with us today, in the form of Grim. You better be able to keep up those puns for the whole presentation. So yes, unfortunately a pass on Basarios. As much as I wish I could say smash, it's not close enough for me. ENVtuber. You know what? ENVtuber is a fairly mild bird. It's not terribly smart, not terribly aggressive. It's just a very relaxed, friendly bird. It can breathe fire, which is a little bit threatening, but it's not especially dangerous compared to a lot of other monsters. It also has a very cute beak, these flappy little fin things on its head, and all it really does all day is go around hunting for bugs. In all honesty, this will be our very first smash of the evening. ENVtuber shall receive a smash. Also, on a slight side note, ENVtuber also has generally very cute equipment items themed around, just themed around it in general. Parts of its shell can be made into like a teddy bear costume for cats. It's quite pleasant. Everything about ENVtuber is generally pleasant. Bias, because it's a bird? I mean, possibly. But overall, I would say it's just because ENVtuber is generally a nicer monster, out of the ones we've seen so far. Next we have Gypsaros. Now, Gypsaros has several factors that kind of give me a little bit of trouble. So, for one, on the positives that Gypsaros has. Its body is made out of a rubbery material. Its hide is pretty much comparable directly to just rubber. Not to mention its tail is very flexible and squishy. So those factors, on a physical side, are generally quite appealing, I would say. It's a soft, somewhat rubbery, weird bird creature. The main problem with Gypsaros is that its general temperament is quite aggravating and wily. This creature will fake its own death. It also spews poison. It does not have a very likable face, I would say. It has a bit of a horrific face, and it can also flashbang you with that weird crystal on its head. It just seems like a lot of work, I'll be honest. Gypsaros seems like a lot of work in order to be comfy. So, yeah, Gypsaros, you receive a... Oh, wrong button. You receive a pass. Gypsaros, you receive a pass. On a physical side, if... Should I really bust this one out? If you had a paper bag to block out everything from the neck up, it would generally be passable, but still probably a pass. Now, on to the next one. We have Kezu. Yeah, Kezu is gonna be a triple pass from me. It looks like a defeathered chicken that was left out in the cold for several months. It has a rather phallic head, and not exactly like in the tasteful manner either. Yeah, Kezu is not good. Not good in general. And every single aspect of its body, in terms of how it's described and how it acts, it is effectively a blind parasite that wanders around frozen caves, eating whatever it can find. And its body is said to disgust and horrify anyone who makes contact with it. Kezu is a triple pass, and no one can convince me otherwise. You'd be surprised how many people like this thing. You would be very surprised just how many people have a certain interest in Kezu. I am not one of them. That is a triple pass. Anyway, moving on. Monoblos. Now this is a curious one. Hear me out on this, friends. Friends in the audience. Monoblos is a dying species. The Monoblos are dying out from overhunting. Right? Its general appearance is not terrifying. It has some spiky areas, but overall, not terrible. Its general ecology is territorial. They are very territorial, but they are not carnivorous. For the sake of the species, Monoblos... Oh, wrong button again. For the sake of the species, Monoblos shall receive a smash. They're not the worst thing out there. They deserve a chance. So yes, Monoblos shall receive a smash. So you wish to help bring back the species from endangerment? Indeed. It's a shame. Such majestic creatures being overhunted. They don't deserve this. And, really, all they do is minorly inconvenience certain desert trade routes. Monoblos, it receives a smash from me. Plesioth. Yeah, that's also going to be... This one will be a This one will be a double pass. And for a few reasons. For one, these things have long tormented hunters ever since the olden days. Back 2 decades ago. Well, almost 2 decades ago. This terror of the waters has forever been a nuisance to hunters for its ability to break the laws of physics, which I have no interest in, frankly. Not to mention, it's a weird giant fish that walks on land for some reason. If it was at least in the water and stuck to the water, that would make sense. But instead, you have this reverse mermaid that is incapable of making any sense, really. It's also generally just hyper-aggressive. Not pleasant. Not exactly pleasant. And can you imagine the smell? I'd rather not imagine the smell. These things live in dank rivers in the middle of forests. No, that's going to be a, yeah, that'll be a double pass from me. The missus says pussy. I bet she's a Kezu liker. Anyway. Well, I will not engage further with that criticism there, Grim. Anyway, moving on. Plesioth is a double pass. Gravios. I mean, this one is literally... It's effectively the same. This is effectively the same as Basarios. The main problem being that it's larger, more aggressive, and spews a lot more fire. This is effectively Basarios, but minus the parts that make Basarios cute. And Basarios was already a pass. So yes, indeed, this is yet another pass from me, and it'll be a double. Yet another nuisance. She is abrasive, yes. Alright. It's the boulder, rock and stone. Indeed, rock and stone, but I'd rather not have this thing rock my stones. Anyway. Rathian. Here we go, this is a classic right here. So, in the case of Rathian, she is the queen of the land. That is her colloquial name amongst many folks. Rathian. It's a nice monster, right? It's a traditional dragon. The main issue that arises in the case of Rathian, once again, it's the poison, right? The main problem, once again, is the poison. Rathian is covered in poisonous spikes, which is always difficult. Now, on the positive side, Rathian is also a very devout mother, and we are appreciators of MILFs. You can't knock MILFs as a category. Indeed. But overall, I'll be honest, Rathian will unfortunately have to be nothing more than a pass. Once again, another one that teeters on the edge. She's almost got me. Rathian almost has me, but it will have to be a pass, unfortunately. Rathalos. It's more of the same, effectively, although Rathalos is also a bit bratty. I feel like Rathalos would be very selfish, and not in, like, a fun sort of way. It constantly dances around in the air, and tries to get you with its claws, and spits fire in your face. Nothing about Rathalos Rathalos doesn't want to be cozy. It wants to run around, gallivant around, come back, kick you in the face a little bit, and then fly around again. Rathalos is kind of a jerk. So Rathalos will also be receiving a pass. However, what if I told you that Gold Rathian and Silver Rathalos exist? What if I told you these two exist? Because these two, as a combined unit, receive a smash. Right? They're exceptionally rare, and you have to take rare opportunities when they are presented to you, of course. It's a very important lesson of life that I will share with you. When a rare opportunity presents itself, do not hesitate to take it. And encountering a Gold Rathian and a Silver Rathalos is one such rare opportunity. Also, you know, outside of the aggressive temperament, I'm just saying, this would be an intriguing third situation. Just putting that out there. This would be an intriguing situation to be the third member of. Anyway, moving on from that. Gold Rathian and Silver Rathalos receive a smash as a combined unit. Diablos. Now, Diablos is similar to Monoblos. However, the main thing here is that it is far more aggressive, far more territorial, and also doesn't have the population issue. So the factors that made Monoblos appealing, or rather helped Monoblos' case, are not present for Diablos. So, Diablos, unfortunately, you will be receiving a pass. But what if I told you? What if I told you that Black Diablos exists? Oh, welcome to the lecture, Lax. I appreciate you coming in. Let's see here. So far, we're toward the later chunk of the first generation of monsters. So, making decent progress here. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Black Diablos exists. Now, an important detail about this subspecies of Diablos is that it is not a subspecies at all. In fact, Black Diablos is just a female Diablos that is in heat. To quote directly, the designation of the subspecies is somewhat of a misnomer, as Black Diablos are simply female Diablos in heat. Their shell turns black during mating season to warn other monsters of their heightened aggression and hostility. It is not possible for a Black Diablos to be male. I'm just saying. Hear me out here, friends. I'm just saying. Right? Right? Uh-huh. Right? Right? Yeah? Yeah, yeah? Right? Yeah? Yeah? I'm just saying, okay, so with that point emphasized, Black Diablos shall receive a resounding, for the first time tonight, triple smash. Black Diablos is without a doubt a triple smash. And you cannot convince me otherwise. So basically, she will rock your stone when she wanna smash. Essentially, yes. That's a rather astute observation there, Cringe. You get a gold star for that one. So yes, triple smash on the Black Diablos. Lao Shan Lung. It's a big lad. Lao Shan Lung is a very big lad. My main problem with Lao is that it is nothing more than a exceptionally large, boring Godzilla. This is effectively Godzilla, but without any of the flavor. Can't see your face? Oh, you don't really need to. It's Godzilla. It's literally just, what if you took Godzilla, cut away all the important parts that make it interesting, and made it just a big dumpy lizard? So yes, unfortunately you receive a pass from me. This is a bowl of plain rice compared to the stir-fry that is something like Godzilla. Bit of a, you know, possibly an unfair comparison, but they're effectively the same creature in terms of general outward appearance. Not to mention, it effectively just lumbers throughout the land and mashes through anything it comes across. It accidentally flattens human settlements constantly. It's a bit of a nuisance. Now give her a chance. I have given it. I've given many of these quite a lot of thought, my good friend Skylord. This is a pass. Kieran! So in terms of looks, right? Is it not that aggressive? Oh no, it's aggressive. It will fight you. Like, Lao will fight you. It's more just that it has zero care for anything other than itself and smashes through buildings. Anyway, Kieran, on to the next one. Appearance-wise, Kieran is quite appealing, right? It's a magical dragon horse with lightning powers and amazing hair. My problem with Kieran is its general temperament. That's my main issue. Kieran is exceptionally... It's simultaneously timid, but also aggressive. It'll strike you with a lightning bolt that kills you, and then run away. They're kind of a nuisance, overall. On looks, once again, if this was exclusively looks, it probably would receive a smash from me. Does I take a shot? Of course, that's a valid stance to take. But in terms of general temperament, Kieran is overall a pain. So unfortunately you receive a pass from me. But the one thing I will make a consolation for, while Kieran itself shall receive a pass from me. Tell you what, we're not going to be doing this much, if at all. I will include a smash here, given that we are divided. Given that this lecture hall is a bit divided at the moment on the stance for Kieran, I shall acknowledge that you would all give it a smash. I personally, as the lecturer, would pass on Kieran. She needs therapy. I can fix her. So some good back and forth going on between us all. However, while Kieran itself would be a pass from me, I have to make a point for Kieran's armor set, because the female Kieran armor set does in fact raise the breedability of any female hunter by 900% at least. Just had to make that point evidently clear. It's extremely important. You can't forget the Kieran armor set. It's iconic. Anyway, on to the next one. We have Fatalis. I mean, you have to. Like, you have to. You have to do Smash on Fatalis. It's once again, it's another instance of it being a classic. It's the dragon. This is the quintessential Monster Hunter dragon. In terms of general temperament, it is a destroyer of worlds. That is definitely a negative. Fatalis gets a negative on the temperament side. This is an instance where the appearance side of things wins out over temperament. Smash God. See, very good. That's a very good point on you, Oren. Hold on. I have to swap over my tab. Oren, indeed. That's a very good point, Oren. You want to smash a deific being. When presented with the opportunity, you have to smash a deific being. So yes, Fatalis gets a smash. However, I will say, Crimson Fatalis is where we're getting a bit too far. Because Crimson Fatalis is effectively, if you took Fatalis, made everything about it way more hostile and angry, and also way hotter. And I don't like hot weather, and Crimson Fatalis is a walking volcano, more or less. This is not my kind of thing. Regular Fatalis works. Crimson Fatalis is where we're getting a bit too much, I'd say. So, Crimson Fatalis, you receive a pass. At least regular Fatalis, while it is a destroyer of worlds that will torch everything into ashes, it at least doesn't feel that way on the outside. The color scheme is nice, but I'm pan. That, I will say, having a very, having a very open sexuality, I'm sure probably helps this work through this a lot easier. I'm not saying I want to smash them, I'm just saying smash God. I'm still stuck against him in world. I gotcha, I understand now. Let's see here. Back to this. Okay. Yeah, Crimson Fatalis is a pass. And I believe that should wrap up the first generation. Yeah, perfect. So now, we'll be moving on to the second generation of Monster Hunter. This one spans from the original Monster Hunter 2 to Freedom Unite, Freedom Unite being the Western release. And we're starting off with Daimyo Hermitar. Now, crabs are funny. The main problem I have with the crab is everything to do with its outsides. They're also just quite aggressive in general. And as you can see, it's wearing the skull of a Monoceros, which we've already been over. Monoceros, like, we want to save the population. Monoceros is a dying species, and this thing is capitalizing on the death of a species. Also, its mouth is terrifying and gross, and I don't like it. So, yeah, Daimyo Hermitar will be receiving just a regular old pass. Not aggressive hatred, just generally it's an unpleasant creature. Then we move on to Shogun Sianatar. And this is effectively Daimyo, but crank up the aggression and the spikiness and the not coziness by tenfold. This one will bleed your body until it's nothing but a husk. And for that, I don't like you very much. You receive a double pass. Shogun Sianatar is a double pass. It also has the creepy face. Yeah, eat. We don't smash these. We don't smash these as in, like, you know, smash. We smash these because we smash open the shell to get the tasty meat inside. That's a very, very good point there, Skylord. Gold star for you. Queen Vespoid. I hate wasps. Wasps are the xenomorph of real life. So you receive a triple pass from me. You're also extremely boring. There's not much going on there. It's just a giant wasp. Get better material. Anyway. Queen Vespoid, be gone from my sight. King Shakalaka. Now, King Shakalaka can cook for you, and that's always an appealing trait. Curse the wasp, bless the bee. Indeed. Bees are nice. Bees are just, they're little bundles of fuzz that make tasty treats. Wasps, literally just, yeah, no. Yeah, no. No, big no on wasps. Yeah, King Shakalaka. So it can cook for you, but otherwise it's kind of weird. It's like a weird, I don't even know what it is, I'll be honest. I've never quite understood the nature of the Shakalakas. Because they appear like their heads are made out of wood, but it's actually a mask. I don't know. So as much as I would appreciate a finely cooked steak from one of these things, yeah, that's a pass for King Shakalaka. The Bulldrome. It's a warthog. You know what? Forest dwarf. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, Bulldrome. It's a warthog. It's very fluffy. I'm sure if they were less aggressive, they would be decent to cuddle with. But overall, no. That's going to be a big old pass from me. The tusks are compensating. That's an interesting observation there, Cringe. Something maybe worth considering and investigating. Pumbaa. Let us see. We have... Where's my music? Hold on. Oh. There we go. Congalala. I'll be honest, I'm not really into scat that much. I don't... Is that a controversial take? Is that a controversial take to say that I'm not into scat, or am I just really being super right now? Because I'm pretty sure I'm being super right. Congalala is super unpleasant and gross, and it would smell really bad. I've never liked this creature very much. Yeah, you receive a very, very strong triple pass from me. Congalala is a big no. Blanganga. Now, this one doesn't have the same problems, right? This one does not have the same issue that Congalala has, but I don't like its face. I don't like its face very much. Also, they're hyper-aggressive. They're hyper-territorial baboons that live on top of mountains and punch you in the face and throw ice at you. They're not nice. They're not very pleasant at all. So, not a triple, but maybe a double. Not a huge fan of Blanganga. Lavasioth. So I've already been over the fact that Plesioth is a major no from me. Already been over that. Plesioth is not nice. Lavasioth is just Plesioth, but kick it up a notch. Just kick it up to you are literally touching lava instead of just fish. At least Plesioth had the mermaid argument. Lavasioth's just gross. It's just a creepy lava monster. Yeah, I don't like you very much. Yeah, this is gonna be a Triple pass. Triple pass. Yeah, Gen 2, not doing too hot. The second generation of monsters is not doing too hot right now. But then here we are at Hypnocatrice. It's just a funky, colorful bird. Right? It's just a funky, colorful bird monster. Has a little bit of the chocobo thing going on. Just a little. Not too much. Like if you shrunk down the beak a little bit and the wings, it'd be like a big pink chocobo. And it's kind of cute. I don't know. Right? Like, hold on. Hold on. I'm doing some additional observations just to see if there's anything that would sway me in a different direction. You know what? Yeah. It's an interesting creature. They're just a cool, funky bird. You receive a smash from me. Also, what's that going on with my model? Ah, there we go. I don't know why my model desynced there for a minute there. Anyway, moving on. Smash on Hypnocatrice. I'm not doing much to help my bird bias here, am I? Anyway. Yangaruga. Well, this is going to do something to dissuade your bird bias theories, because Yangaruga is extremely unpleasant. Effectively, if you took all of the parts about Yankuku that are cute and nice, this shaves those all away and makes them cruel and angry. And just generally a lot less cozy. Like a Yankuku, I can imagine cuddling one of those things. If you try to cuddle with a Garuga, it would impale you on a poisonous spike. And then scream in your ear for 3 hours. As you die. Yeah, Yangaruga's a double pass. Edgy Cuckoo. You know what, that's a very... Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. There, Lax. Yeah, double pass on Yangaruga. Then we move on to Tigrex. Now, Tigrex, it's another sort of, classic type monster, right? It's another one of those poster monsters, similar to something like Rathalos in the first generation. My main issue with Tigrex is the temperament. This is one of the most aggressive monsters we have in our list right now. Yangaruga is extremely violent. This thing is just aggressive hunger turned into a creature. Now, I'm sure there are some people who would be interested in a Tigrex. I personally am not. Love to hug and pet. And it's also very loud. That's the other thing. This is another scream in your ear type thing. Tigrex can scream so loud that it can physically injure your body. Is it fluffy? No, it's covered in scales. It's a T-Rex. It's a T-Rex combined with a tiger. With wings. Believe me, I have seen things that would make me question. I have seen things that would give me a very different answer regarding Tigrex than the one that I would give right now. And the answer I'm giving is a pass. Yeah, it's gonna be a pass on you. Not too pleasant. But let's talk about Nargacuga, right? Let's all sit down for a minute, right? Let's all sit down. We'll have a little powwow here. So, everybody, let's hold on. Let's just talk about Tigrex, right? Hear me out here. Not Tigrex, Nargacuga. Jeez. Hear me out about Nargacuga. This is a fluffy bat werewolf dragon kind of thing. It's a big sneaky bat dragon thing with a cool beak. It's got a little whippy tail. And also, once again, this is another one where I would say the art would make me question otherwise, but the thing is, you don't need to make me question otherwise. You got these little cute wings, you got this cute little beak. Very fluffy, as you can see right here. I feel I should be doing this more. I should be like moving around using my pointer finger more accurately. Anyway, yeah. A lot of good things going for our friend Nargacuga here. Yeah. It shall receive a very comfortable double smash from me. Nargacuga is good. Nargacuga is very good. The Gajinka art I found on Pixiv. See, those are the kind of things I'm trying to avoid bringing up directly, because they would make most of the monsters into smashes. Believe me, there are some creatures we're going to get to later that I would absolutely say smash on if we were talking about a humanized version. And are a resounding triple pass when we're talking about the monster. Anyway, yes, Nargacuga, double smash, very good. Very good job, Nargacuga, we love you. Shingaoren. There's what... Did you guys know there was another crab? Because there's another crab. And this is the giant. This is the giant crab. This one is very similar in nature to Lao Shen Lung. The only difference being that it is, of course, a crab. And that doesn't exactly earn it many points, I'll be honest with you. Shingaoren, you shall be receiving a yeah, double. It's just not pleasant. We should do an honorable mention section with some of the art of these creatures. I mean, I did save a couple things for different thumbnail. I can show you the other two thumbnails that I made for this. Like, that's what we'll do. At the very end of this, I can show you the other two thumbnails that I made. Because some of the other art can get a little bit questionable, and I don't want YouTube to yell at me for showing you literal R34. So yeah, Shingaoren double pass, you're gross. It also spits poison, yes. Now we're on to Rajang. Okay, so here's the thing. I personally will pass on Rajang. But I can very easily imagine that Rajang has a lot of appeal for some folks. It's literally a Super Saiyan Minotaur. And for people who are into, you know, Beauty and the Beast type stuff, this is pretty close. And this is the only monkey that's not out... It's still, like, hyper-aggressive. It's still hyper-aggressive. But, at the very least, I don't hate its face that much. Appearance-wise, Rajang is fine across the board. Its temperament is horrifying. It would rip you in half for, like, looking at it wrong. But I know. I can easily imagine there's a lot of people who would be interested in Rajang. Personally, though, it will be a pass from me. I'm not too down with it. But no, I can imagine there were some people who saw in Monster Hunter World, I can imagine there were people who saw Rajang choking out a Kirin and were like, God, I wish that was me. You know? You know? Anyway. Yeah, that's a pass on Rajang. Now we're on to Teostra. I just don't like it. I just don't like it very much. Like, it's like Teostra's, he's just kind of a jerk. He's just a big angry fire dragon. And once again, similar thing where it's just like body made of fire, right? It's the same issue with something like Lavasioth or like, you know, any of the rock monsters where it's just like, it would be impossible to cuddle with. And this one's even worse because it's covered in all that fluff. Like, you know, it has like this big fluffy, it has this big fluffy mane over here. And the big fluffy mane is nice. The wings are very fluffy. The problem is, all that fluff is actually covered in explosive powder that would blow you to bits if you so much as touch it. So yeah, Teostra, you receive a pass. my sir. You're a king to some people, but not to me. And let's see. And you know what? I'm just gonna leave the pass up because our next one's Lunastra. And I don't even she's literally the same. She's literally the same but more infuriating. Lunastra covers an area in like scalding hot temperatures that melt your body using its like fire dust. And yet it's another example of it's taunting you with the fluff. Because damn, I want to fluff that mane, I want to fluff that tail, I want to fluff those wings. But you can't. You're not allowed. Lunastra, she's a brat. I don't like her. She's mean. She's a bratty empress, and I don't like her very much. So yeah, not only does she receive a pass, she receives a double pass. I'm almost tempted to give her a triple, but I'm gonna leave it at a double. Because she doesn't outright disgust me. But I don't like her very much. So yeah, Lunastra, double pass. And that leads us into Kushala Daora. Now hear me out here, everybody. Kushala Daora, we do not correct Lunastra. I'm not like, that's on you, friend. You can correct Lunastra all you want. I have no interest in that. Anyway. So we have Kushala Daora. Now, Kushala Daora, I will say, is an exceptionally gorgeous dragon. Like, it has this extremely shiny, refractive body made of metal. Its face looks quite nice. It has, like, a very well-shaped kind of dragon head. Its color scheme is quite nice, being kind of a bronze and, like bronze and silver and iron kind of mixture. And, also, being made of metal, its body would be exceptionally smooth. Although it would be very cold. That's my one concern. Now, granted, I do enjoy the cold quite a lot. But it would be cold. It's cold metal. But it'd be really, really, like, it'd still probably feel nice, though, right? Like, it's very smooth metal. You know what? Screw it. Smash. I'm smashing on Kushala. We will smash Kushala. Let me have a sip of water here, friends. If you know what? Interesting point here, Skylord. Interesting point here with what you're saying about, like, heat blankets and all that. If you were to be with a Kushala on a hot summer day, if you were with a Kushala on a hot summer day, it would probably be extremely refreshing. The coldness would be very nice, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm sticking with my choice. We're smashing on Kushala. Oh, and welcome back from your break, Phobia. Let's see here, we're up to the later chunk of the second generation of monsters now. Now, sunlight turns that cold to burning. Well, Kushala always harnesses cold winds. It is an ice-based monster. No matter what situation, it will be fighting you with cold. Anyway, on to the next one, Chameleos. Chameleos is a funky lad. Chameleos is a very funky lad. He's got like all these glowy bits. He can go invisible. It's another sneaky type like our Nargacuga friend from earlier. And also, it has this like interesting sort of smooth scales. Its body looks very squishy. Overall, I don't hate its face. It has a decently cute face. Still very monstrous. Definitely not in like, you know, the Kutku or Basarios area where it's a very just like a cute face. It does still have kind of a creepy face, but not bad. It's a chameleon, right? It's a chameleon. Its poison is not coating its body in any way. It just has poisonous spit. So as much as I am seeing you mention the tongue, everybody. I see where your minds are going. I see exactly where your minds are going. But you have to keep in mind that its mouth is filled with exceedingly toxic poison. But, you know, it's still just poisonous spit. It's not poisonous spikes that are going to impale you when, like, accidentally, in some cases. Hold on a minute. I have to... See. It is squishy, can confirm after bludgeoning and sunbreak. See? Yeah, Chameleos is Chameleos is nice. Chameleos is a much easier smash. I was making an argument for Kushala, but Chameleos is one that I think is much more agreeable on that front. It's just it's a fun lizard. It's a big, fun-looking lizard. Now, Yamasukami. This thing is nasty. This thing is gross. This thing is a big, icky sky octopus. It's a big floating gas bag that floats around in the sky. It's covered in all this fungus and gross nonsense. Its mouth... You know what? I didn't include it in my presentation. Allow me to fetch another resource just to emphasize my point of how gross this thing is. Hold for a moment, friends. Hold on for a moment here. Allow me to just fetch this. I see you already called it out there, Oren. It's a good answer because, indeed. Let me just grab this thing real quick. So this is what Yamasukami's mouth looks like. I have zero. Hold on. Why is my mouth... Hold on. Ah, there we go. I don't know why my model desynced for so long there. That was weird. Apologies there. Anyway, Yamasukami's mouth. Yeah, I have negative interest. I don't have no interest, I have negative interest in what that mouth can do. Yeah, I'm not... Yamasukami is going to be a very strong triple pass from me. I don't like it very much. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the big sky octopus. And its creepy human teeth. A Cantor! I mean... My problem with the Cantor is that it is basically just unpleasantness incarnate. We've already been over the hot weather thing. I don't like the heat. This thing lives in lava, evidently, as you can see here. A Cantor isn't too great. It's also highly aggressive, it's covered in spikes, it screams loud enough to fire shockwaves. It's just mean. It's a big, mean lizard. I just don't like it very much, and its face is scary. It's got big, jagged teeth. Yeah, now. We're gonna do a double. Once again, like I said, monsters that disgust me get the triple pass. This one's a double because I don't like it. But it doesn't disgust me. Now, moving on to our next one, we have Ukanlos. And I mean, Ukanlos is a lad, right? As the counterpart to a Cantor, Ukanlos is actually quite pleasant. It has a very cute face here. It's got this little round dome. And it flies, of course, indeed. Everyone's favorite flying wyverns. Everyone's favorite flying, emphasis on flying, wyverns. But unfortunately, for all the, as much as I praise Ukanlos for just being, it's just a fun lad. My problem is how jagged it is, right? Like, look at its underbelly. Look at how spiky its underbelly is. Look at, like, the spikes on its nails. Look at the spikes on its arms. Look at the spikes on its back. It's a cold weather monster, and I appreciate cold weather monsters. But my problem is that I don't like it. I don't like how spiky it is. So yeah, Ukanlos would be a great friend, a good drinking buddy. Good call there. Yes. Ukanlos is a great friend monster, but I can't really, it'd be hard to cuddle with. It'd be a really, really hard monster to cuddle with. Unfortunately. Like, this is a monster where I don't like to hit pass. As much as I'd love to hit smash on this one, it's just too spiky. Like, I can't deal. I can't deal with it, unfortunately. It doesn't have enough to sway me. And then lastly, White Fatalis. We have White Fatalis. And this falls into a similar camp as something like Crimson Fatalis for me. It does, as a positive, have nothing to do with fire. White Fatalis is not fire-based, unlike the other two variants. Because White Fatalis uses lightning. And lightning is a bit more workable, because I'm not going to be set on fire. But here's all the negative traits about White Fatalis. It is an ancient Fatalis that has destroyed countless civilizations. It's exceedingly old, and I'm not really a gilf kind of person. Sorry to say. Not really a gilf kind of person. And it's just, yeah, it's just not pleasant. It's an ancient demon overlord, and not in, like, a fun way. So yeah, White Fatalis, you get a pass. It's cool looking, though. Credit where it's due. It's a cool looking dragon. No geriatric fetish. Yeah, I'm not too into that. Anyway, that's the end of the second generation. We made it through another one, everybody. Good job. Hope we're all taking notes. You have been taking notes, right? You have been taking notes, right? Anyway, I'm just teasing you all. Don't worry, there is no test at the end. But if you have been taking notes, I do appreciate it. These are important. These are very important things to take to heart. Anyway, let me have a quick sip of water here. As we step into the next generation. Oh, jeez. Shift this little guy. There we go. Okay, so Monster Hunter Tri to Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. This was actually the generation when I first became familiar with Monster Hunter. You're supposed to take notes, Cheech? I mean, if you want to. I'm not going to police you for taking notes. But it is important knowledge that I'm hoping you're taking to heart. Anyway. Let's start off with Great Jaggy. Now, here's the thing. This one, it's effectively just Velocidrome again. But not. It's a little bit of Velocidrome again, but also not. Now, I do like the look of Great Jaggy, and I do have a little bit of personal, attachment to it, given that this is one of the first monsters I ever encountered. Are subspecies here too? Some. We have certain subspecies. The subspecies that I deemed important enough to include because they were different. There are a lot of subspecies, though, that aren't. There's a lot of subspecies that aren't particularly exciting or different enough to warrant a position in here, because they're effectively just the monster but angrier. But monsters that have a distinct enough characteristic, one in particular that we covered was Black Diablos. Given that Black Diablos is not a subspecies, it's a female Diablos in heat, Black Diablos was on here, in addition to regular. Anyway, Great Jaggy is nice and all, but I'll be honest, he's gonna have to be a pass from me. Just another one of those ones where, outwardly, looks nice. It's like got this nice purple and orange sort of color scheme. But other than that, it doesn't have a lot going on. I am curious what that crest of fur on its back would feel like, though. Can he paralyze? No. No, Great Jaggy has nothing special going on. It's just a big lizard. Also, you don't need to yell at me, Phobia. I'll get to your question when I get to your question. I'm the instructor here. You have to respect that. So yes, pass on Great Jaggy. Great Roggy. It has a funny face. Credit where it's due. Sorry, Teach. Oh, it's all right. I won't yell at you any more than I need to. Anyway, Great Roggy. I like its face. It has a funny face with the big, like, poison sac. But once again, as we have said several times here, poison is generally a negative. And yes, this thing reeks poison. No, don't weep. Hey. Listen, you don't need to beat your son, Skylord. Are we going to get into the snitty debate? I mean, if you want to, but that's something outside of Monster Hunter, so it's not exactly going to sway my opinion one way or the other. Now, this is another monster where I'd be curious about the texture of its skin, similar to Iodrome. My problem is that, yeah, it's just not, it's a big, creepy poison lizard. And it has a bit of a weird face. The pig nose kind of thing it has going on is a bit weird. So yeah, this is another one where I will give it a pass. Just, yeah, not too exciting here. Water balloon neck, want to yeet at mortal enemy. You know, that would be an interesting application, if you could make it work somehow. If you had the physical strength to pick up a Great Roggy and throw it at someone and then make its neck pop. But anyway, yeah, that's going to be a pass on Roggy. And then we have Great Baggy. Now, Great Baggy are a little bit sadistic, because you can see, on your first encounter with a Great Baggy, it is introduced by you witnessing it use its sleeping venom. It has a neurotoxin that it can spit that makes things sleep. And effectively it can spit this sleeping venom at things, and then it eats the creature while it's asleep. So while you're not even fully dead, it will begin to consume you along with its pack. That's just not a vibe I'm here for, I'll be honest. Great Baggy are kind of jerks. At least the other ones have at least the other great lizards have the respect to just use their venom, saliva. Point is, it can put you to sleep with its spit. Yes. But yes, no, it does in fact, when you see it the first time, spit a sleeping compound at a popo, which is a particular small monster. It's effectively a mammoth. They put a mammoth to sleep and then immediately start chowing down the second it falls on the ground. That just doesn't sound pleasant. So I'm actually going to, just because of the way they hunt, that's going to be a double pass from me. Now here's the thing, if I could have a bottle of Great Baggy, sleeping substance to use if I really needed to knock myself out for the night, or I guess for the day would be more accurate. Yeah. My schedule tends to usually take me through, like, early morning to, like, mid-afternoon in terms of rest. Anyway, Great Baggy's a double pass. Let's move on. Arzuros. Arzuros. What do we have to say about Arzuros? I mean, it's a bear. It has probably its fur is probably really soft. It doesn't really eat meat. It just eats honey. I imagine you could maybe get some good cuddles out of this thing. If you just kept it busy with you just get a beehive that's still filled with honey. And you just stick it on the ground somewhere, and then you just stick your face into its fur for a little while. It's probably really cuddly. But they are still a bear. An Arzuros is literally just a bear. There's not much else to say about it other than the fact that it's a bear and it has scales on its arms. So I mean, hey, if you think you could maybe not get killed by a bear, if you're one of those types of people who thinks, hey, I could become friends with bears. I know how to become friends with bears, and then you get eaten by the bear because you thought you could be friends with bears, then knock yourself out. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be a realist here and say Arzuros gets a pass, as much as I am curious about how soft its fur would be. Moving on, we have Lugambi. Skill issue with bear friendship. Okay. Fair enough. You can say skill issue, but the difference is that I'm not in a bear's stomach right now. Anyway, Lugambi. It's also bear-shaped, but it's also a rabbit. And it also has really fluffy fur. And it also has a very smooth belly that it uses to slide across snow and ice. And I'm really curious what that thing would feel like. Main problem with Lugambi, they're still pretty aggressive. They're gonna be super aggressive. That's just how they are. It's a rabbit, yes. What do I have to say about this one? I mean, that's really it. It's just it has a lot of physical characteristics, but it's also just got a very aggressive temperament. But the nice part is that while it's aggressive, at least it's not, a colossal dragon that'll stomp you into paste. It's a bear. And it's about the size of a bear. But I can't necessarily say smash for this one. I'd have to say pass as well. It's not not to knock it down too much. I'll have to say a pass on Lugambi. It is cute in a certain way. But overall, yeah, no. Volvidon. Volvidon's just kind of nasty. It has paralyzing venom, and yes, I know people like paralyzing stuff. It also has a very long tongue that it can use for other things, and it also has paralyzing venom on its tongue. Yes, it has all those characteristics. Here's my problem with Volvidon, is that it's another monster that excretes on you as one of its main tactics. This one is not scat, but it does fart on you. Aggressively. This is the Shart Armadillo. And I'm not too down with the Shart Armadillo. And it also doesn't have the soft fur that something like Lugambi or Arzuros had as a positive, even though it has the same body type as one of those. Excuse me? Yes, I said Shart. It poops and farts on you at the same time as one of its main tactics. Yeah, no. Is this a triple? Yeah, this is a triple. This is a triple from me. That's even more of a negative trait than poison for me. Unfortunately. It's just, yeah, any monster that uses dung to fight you is going to be a massive no. Anyway, yes for me. I mean, you do you, Skylord. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Kurupeko. This one's really going to put those bird bias theories to rest, because Kurupeko, I'm just going to put it up right now. I'm just going to put this right now. Oh, I mean yes to kill. Okay, gotcha. So, here's my problems with Kurupeko. For one, it's a brat, and not in the fun way. This one's a brat in the annoying way, in that it can't resist the urge to just call and whine for help. And for whatever reason, other monsters just listen to it and will attack you on sight. It's also horribly ugly. Also, it has this creepy looking beak, right? It can also make some of the most horrific sounds you could ever imagine when it's trying to call for help by mimicking the danger cry of other monsters. Kurupeko is awful. Kurupeko is indefensible. I hate Kurupeko with a fiery passion. If I could, I would jam all of the spiciest peppers imaginable into that creepy little face hole that it has sticking out of the top of its nose. Anyway. Sorry, the music got me a little bit excited for a minute there. Moving on. Kurupeko is a triple pass and will forever sit at the bottom rung of being awful. It's just a funny guy. Yeah, it can dance. I know it likes to dance. I don't like Kurupeko. And maybe this is just deep-seated hatred from the olden days when I was first introduced to Monster Hunter and this thing clapped my face in half several times with those creepy little fire knuckles it has. That's the other thing. It can also spark fires with its hands, because that makes sense. Anyway. Yeah, not a fan of Kurupeko. Hold on a minute. Got a little bit... I lost my composure there for a minute. Got a little bit heated. The music had me excited. Let's move on to the next one, shall we? Royal Ludroth. You know what? You know what? Credit where it's due. Heated Owl, Owl and Heat? Yes, I'm very... You wonder why I had the urge to make this presentation. Anyway, moving on from that comment from you there, Cringe. So, we have the Royal Ludroth. Royal Ludroth actually has some good positives going for it. It's water-based. Water-based creatures are far from the worst. In terms of partnership, water is a fairly easy one to work with. They have their hide has a sponge-like quality to it, so it would be a very squishy. That's the other thing. It's also a harem king. That's a good call out there from you, Oren. I'll be honest. Royal Ludroth, especially following Kurupeko, Royal Ludroth, you will receive a smash. It's just nice, you know? It doesn't have any, like, it doesn't have any outstanding terrible qualities. Did you know in terms of Pokemon and human breeding, Vaporeon is the most... Yes, I've heard. Believe me, I've done my own studies. But that's not exactly the topic of this presentation. Believe me, plenty of folks have done their Pokemon presentations. That's why I'm doing Monster Hunter. People have been talking about one category of monsters quite a lot. I'm talking about a different set of monsters, as you can see. Anyway, moving on from that. Yes, Royal Ludroth will be a smash. Good job, buddy. First smash of the 3rd generation. I'm proud of you. Barroth. It's just not great, I'll be honest. It's a very, like, rough... It's a big, rough T-Rex. And it's covered in mud. I'm not exactly into mud. I know that mud baths are a thing, and I'm sure someone can maybe make that work, but I don't care much for this. Yeah. Barroth is a pass. They're also quite aggressive as well. That's the thing. Many monsters are aggressive. It just depends on the type of aggressive. It's weird. Barroth's a bit of a weird one, and I don't like the mud. I don't like being dirty. I don't like having weird gunk on my body. Goble. I'll be honest, I'm not really into Vor. That's gonna be a pass. Not a huge fan of Vor. Definitely a pass on that one. Very spiky as well. Herd Mud? Oh, welcome back, Phobia. Yeah, we were looking at Baroth. Now we're on to Giganox. Now hear me out for a minute here, folks. Hear me out. So Giganox, the Cave Leech. He's a fun fishing monster, indeed. I can respect that. But we're talking about smashability, of course. And as a smashability, you know, in terms of smashability, Gobel is just not. It's not exactly the best, I would say. Now, Giganox. Hear me out here for a minute, folks. The main thing with Giganox is that it is a leech, right? It's a cave leech. You can see by its little mouth up there. It has those little razor point teeth. However, it also has this other bit back here, and this bit doesn't have any teeth. Trust me, I've researched this in depth. It has no teeth on this side, but has a very similar kind of passage. Its body is made, it seems to be of like a squishy substance, maybe comparable to something like a gecko. If you look at its underside, compare its hands to something like a gecko, very similar. So, you know, big squishy cave lizard that's a leech. Giganox are also very hardworking single mothers. They always carry their clutch of eggs with them on their back, and all in all, they do their best to keep their family safe. Their family of many tiny giggies. Little leech children. This is a hardworking single mother, and we respect that. Giganox, you receive a wholehearted double smash from me. I hope you come back sometime soon, because I'm frankly sick of Kezu, and you're way better than Kezu, while being the same general concept. Giganox is a double. Also, my music turned off again, because YouTube likes to do that. Okay, I think we're going again. Cool. Back in business. Giganox. Double smash. I love this thing. It's actually quite nice. And they're mostly just territorial. They're not aggressively in your face kind of aggressive. They just kind of hang out in caves, trying to find food. So yeah, Giganox is good. Barioth. Now, Barioth, I have the same sort... Loop the YouTube music video. Well, that's the thing. It's not just one video. It's a playlist. It's a playlist of multiple Monster Hunter songs. Anyway. So in the case of Barioth, I have the same kind of issues regarding this that I have with Rathalos, where I feel like it's just kind of an asshole. Like, Rathalos is just sort of a jerk. It kicks at you, it spits fire, it flies around, gallivants around the land while its wife guards the nest. Barioth is a similar thing, where it's just a big, angry, saber-toothed dragon. And it also is kind of a jerk in terms of how it operates. It flies around, it creates blizzards. It has a big tail that it tries to slap you with. And they're also just kind of, they're very aggressive. Yeah, and it's also very spiky. That's another good point there, Skylord. Would be able to see a Russian leader riding it, but that's about it, yes. Yeah, it's just not great. Not discussed, but definitely not my favorite, so you receive a pass. Uragan. So Uragan is really cool. It truly is. It has a exterior of, it gathers precious metals on its back, and it rolls around. It has a very impressive chin. The chin is a very critical detail of Uragan. Can't forget. And I mean, it's nice, right? On a material level, it's quite nice. The eyes are very pretty as well. But they're also they're a highly aggressive monster as well. More on the territorial side once again, but still, that's about it. It's just like, it has nice looking eyes, it's very shiny, and that's good. But I don't really care much for it in any other direction. So that's going to be a pass. Pass on Uragan. Nibble, Snarf. I mean, you can tell by the quality of this image that evidently a lot of people love this thing. Oh, totally. By the fact that the best quality image I could find was this. I'll be honest, I'm not into Vor. I'm really not into Vor, you guys. It's gonna be a double pass. It's also got sand. It's gonna be all like rough and coarse. At least Goble had the decency to live in water. So it's gonna be clean for the most part. Nibblesnarf lives in sand, and it also has a much grosser mouth. Yeah, nah. That's a double pass. The only thing I can say, like the main positive I can call out, is that while it is not present here, Nibblesnarf's underside, the underside of Nibblesnarf is extremely colorful and pretty, and that's good. If we were just talking about the belly of Nibblesnarf, it would probably be pretty good. And also its eyes. It has these little eyes on top of its head. But yeah, no. That's a pass from me. Not too big into Nibblesnarf. Duramboros. Duramboros. The mountain. The sentient mountain. So Duramboros, I honestly think this is a decent one, right? I think this is actually a pretty decent one to call. 1 minute. Sorry, folks, I'm just like checking on some tabs real quick. Making sure everything looks nice. Okay. Yeah, so Duramboros. Yeah, it's a large, it's extremely large. They're one of the larger regular monsters out there. So, of course, the size differentials come into play there. But, I mean, you can make it work. Anyone can make size differentials work. If you try hard enough, you can make it work. Duramboros are not, they're not especially aggressive. So that's a nice part. They can dance real good. That is also something. Their balance is incredible, because one of their main methods of attack, as Orin has already called out, is a very good observation there. Duramboros is able to spin on its tippy toes in order to strike with its tail when it fights. So, very exceptional balance. That is definitely a large positive, I would say. It also has this fluffy underside, which is also a good side. You know, that's a good plus, I would say. Yeah, you know what? Duramboros, that's a smash. I will say smash for Duramboros. Seems like a worthwhile smash. The temperament definitely helps a lot here. Considering we've been saying smash on monsters that are aggressive. Fluffy, but it's rocky. Rocky on the outside, but the underside is fine. Anyway, yeah, Duramboros is a smash. Agnactor, I mean... here's the thing, I do appreciate Agnactor. It has some cool stuff going for it. My problem with Agnactor is much the same as any other fire-based monster. It's covered in literal lava. Like, we're just gonna put that right there. It's cool. It's effectively a lava fish. It's a lava fish with like a huge beak. And it drills through the ground and covers itself in lava. It's very, it's a very fancy monster. And it can make some cool noises. Like it does like a little click clack with its beak. But that's about it. Everything else about it is generally kind of unpleasant, and that's going to be a pass. Onto Lagiacris. Lagiacris is interesting. It's effectively, it's a sea, it's a classic sea serpent. A little bit vanilla. It's a little bit vanilla, kind of in that same category as like Rathian and Rathalos, where it's just like, yep, that's a sea serpent. But not, it's not a terrible thing, obviously. Let's see here. In terms of physical characteristics, it's decently large. Let's see here. Scales. I mean, it's kind of like an alligator, actually. It's effectively if you took an alligator and gave it a neck. Right? Like, if you got rid of the neck, this would literally just be an alligator. Now, that's a good point there, Oren. It does have electricity. These spikes on its back can produce very powerful electric shocks. But I mean, if you are not, if the electric shocks are not too much of a factor, it's not terrible. So long as you're not literally in water, they're not going to be as potent. But yeah, overall, I'd say Lagiacris, given it is an extremely aggressive monster. And the electricity definitely is not helping the situation too much. Generally, the only elements, like in terms of elemental affinity, the only elements that would help a monster in most cases are water or ice. Because water and ice are a lot less directly deadly to you compared to something like fire or electric shocks or poison or any of those kind of things, right? That's gonna be a pass, I think. For me, I'm gonna pass on Lagiacris. It looks nice, but the electric shocks and the aggression are like they're a bit much. Zinogre. From one electric monster to another, we move on to our friend Zinogre here. And let's see, I mean, Zinogre is really cool. I gotta say. There are a lot of positives going for Zinogre. It has all this fluff, and its fluff is quite like it's fluff that you could enjoy. Let's see. It does have, you know what? It does have fleas, more or less. It's a big lightning wolf, and it has bugs living in its fur. Well, not necessarily living in its fur, like living in these ridges on its back here. Like, I want to say Smash. Like, I kind of want to say Smash, but at the same time, it's also kind of a jerk. This is a very, like, full of itself kind of monster. Like, it struts around like it's a king. Let's see here. Lumen, oh, Skylord, you're heading to sleep? Yeah, of course. I mean, this lecture is going to be recorded. Of course, there's going to be an archive of this lecture just sitting here on the channel, so you can always check back to it anytime you need to refer to this information on which monsters are Smash worthy or not. So yeah, you go ahead and have a good sleep there, Skylord, and yeah, just go ahead and check out the rest of this whenever you get the chance. Anyway, yeah, Zinogre, its attitude kind of it's kind of I feel like it's another monster that's kind of a jerk. In the same category as something like Barioth or Rathalos. It's a monster that would be a real jerk. Not exactly something that's like Smash worthy. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna pass. Zinogre is gonna be a pass from me. Believe me, it has positives, but yeah, that's gonna be a pass. Now, Deviljho. I feel like I've said this quite a few times tonight. I don't know why the third generation is so into it. It's not like it chose to become a jerk because of a certain dragon. Yeah, I don't know if I need to say it, but I'm not really into Vor I'll be honest. Deviljho, it just eats everything. Like, that's just not... Yeah, no. That's just a big no. Yeah, that's, let's... Duh, it's... Is this thing Kezu levels of gross? Is it Kezu level gross? Is this a triple pass? You know, I've triple passed on similar things. Deviljho's a triple pass. I'd rather not. I would rather not. Brachydios. Here's yet another one. Yet another one where I really do want to say smash. Right? I really want to say smash. It's a monster with a hard shell, sure. But it's a hard shell that's extremely smooth. And like, okay, yeah, it has like this hard... Like, the shell would probably be actually really pleasant to touch. Like, it has these spiky bits, but the parts that aren't spiky are exceptionally smooth, I would assume. Probably similar to the texture of something like obsidian. But then we come to this part of the image. Brachydios has terrible hygiene. It has saliva, right? It has explosive saliva that it constantly coats its hands with, and then it just secretes it from the horn on the top of its head as well. And yes, I know that slime has a certain sort of appeal to it, right? It does, for a lot of people. But not this slime, though. This slime will kill you. This slime will kill you really hard. This stuff is volatile. There is a certain character, there is a certain person in the Monster Hunter world. There's a certain lady in Monster Hunter who is super into this thing. And you gotta help her to acquire some of its slime at one point. Yeah, but for me, unfortunately, the slime is definitely a huge negative. And it sucks because I do care quite a lot for Brachydios. I have a particular fascination with this monster. But, yeah, no. I'd prefer anthropomorphic slime. True, indeed, yes. Slime girls? Good. Explosive slime that a monster spits out of its mouth? That's a pass. So yeah, Brachydios, pass. Cedius. The Ocean God Dragon. This is another one of those gilf monsters, similar to White Fatalis. Another monster in the gilf category. Hold for a moment here, friends. I have to get some stuff real quick. Give me a short moment here. I'm just checking on some stream stuff. Mingle amongst yourselves for a couple seconds here. I just need to fetch a thing. Here we go. There we go. Okay. We were actually, we were running out of music in the playlist that I made for this stream, so I had to pull that back up. But we should be good now. Have more than enough to cover us for the remainder. Anyway, let's keep going. I feel like I've been lingering quite a bit on many of these and over-explaining, so we'll go a bit faster for the remainder of this. Cedius. This one shall be a pass from me. It's a very pretty monster, and they're very docile, which are very positive traits. Actually, you know what? No. This one does get a smash. The more I think about it, Cedius has some really good traits going for it. Compared to a lot of the other monsters we've looked at, it's extremely docile. The only aggression it has is due to a literal defect where the horn on the top side of its face there, that horn grows too large and ends up like overtaking one of its eyes, and so it smashes that horn against walls in like underwater caves. But that's the only aggression that comes out of this thing unless it's defending itself. So in all honesty, it would actually probably be quite pleasant to be around. And it has the very, of course, the big fluffy beard, which would be interesting. I would love to pet that beard. Yeah, Cedius is actually not terrible. Its face is a little ugly, but it could be a lot worse. So let's see here. Cedius is a smash. In regards to the next one, we have Jin Moran. Jin Moran is very large. It is a sand whale. And I will say, credit where it is due, if a Skitty and a Whalelord can make it work, I think you can make it work with a Jin Moran. And Jin Moran, overall, is pretty solid, I would say. Of course, the sand aspect comes in again, and the sand part is a negative. But the nice thing about Jin Moran is that overall, not horribly aggressive. And the big draw, and this is more from a... we're looking at this from a partnership perspective. Jin Moran is known as the Herald of Prosperity, where you see valuable mineral deposits grow on its back naturally. So can you imagine what living with a Jin Moran would be like? If you were living on this thing's back, and you just had an infinite pile of valuable crystals that was self-sustaining. Jin Moran's a smash. Jin Moran absolutely gets a smash from me. Like, this is worth making it work. Jin Moran is a kind of monster where it is worth it to try and make it work. I am willing to climb that mountain. I am willing to climb the mountain. Although it might be a little bit dusty up there. So yeah, smash on Jin Moran. Alatreon. Yeah, Alatreon's kind of a psycho. Alatreon is a little too chaotic. Right? Alatreon is a little too chaotic. This thing is violent and constantly shifting. And that's just not what you want from a partner. That is just not what you want from a partner right there. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's a double. That's a double pass on that one. Like, you are begging for trouble if you try to make things work with an Alatreon. Then, following that, we have Amatsu. Now, Amatsu. I mean, just look at this thing. Like, I mean, just look at it. Come on. Like, I want to squish all these fins. I want to squish every single one of these fins really badly. Yeah. Yeah, that's a very comfortable smash. And Amatsu is dominantly water-based, which is not bad. In terms of elements, you're at least not getting set on fire. It's a sky dragon god that's kind of a big fish. It's cool. Amatsu is nice. Granted, they're very violent, they're an elder dragon, They're a destroyer. They do have a negative in that regard, but on the physical side of things, which is winning the battle here for me, Amatsu's a smash. Dire Morales. How do you, like, where do you even, like, what do you even... I'm like oh, whoopsie. Like, what do we even do with this one? Like, what do we even do with this one? It's a sentient volcano. There's not exactly much to be done on this side. It's literally a sentient volcano. And we've already been over how lava is one of the major negatives for me. So yeah, that's a triple pass from me. And with that, we wrap up the third generation of monsters. Great. Third generation was a particularly large one, so yeah. Glad that we're past it. And with that, we move on to the fourth generation, which encompasses Monster Hunter 4 all the way to Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. This one spans over 2 distinct games. I think it's actually the first... No, actually, never mind. The third generation had a few games mixed in there. Fourth generation has a lot as well, though. Also, welcome back, Oren. Yeah, we just wrapped up the third generation. Alrighty. So, starting our fourth generation, I decided just to kind of mix things together in a way that allowed this to flow. I decided to start on the Great Macau, a monster from Generations. So technically not in chronological order on this one, but still it's effectively the weakest monster on the pecking order. Now, the Great Macau, it's very colorful, and I think the feathers are nice, but it's yet another monster. I don't know. You know what? I'm actually kind of scratching my noggin at this one. Do I reconsider? I mean, relatively speaking, compared to the other great lizards, this one is definitely the one that is the most smashable out of that set. So at the very least, this one should get a smash, I'd say. Maybe. Yeah. Like, relative to, you know, Great Jaggy, Great Roggy, Great Baggy, Great Macau is generally a bit more pleasant. And it hops around on its tail, which is it's a fun party trick, you know? This is the kind of thing where, like, you'd be out together with your Macau, and you'd be like, hey, you want to see, or you'd be at, like, a party. You'd be at a party or something, and you'd be like, hold on, check this out. And they'd be hopping around, like, the center of the room. And you could proudly say, yeah, that's my Macau. Anyway. Yeah, Great Macau, I'll give it a smash. I'll be nice. But I don't think I'll be too nice on this one. Here we have Celtis. Celtis, it's just a big beetle. It's just a very large beetle. And that's just not really, that's not doing it for me, I'll be honest. Hold on a minute. Just checking on stuff again. Yeah, so the Celtis, I mean, it's colorful. And, yeah. The forced simp, as you call them. Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there when we get there. But yeah, Celtis, that's gonna be a pass. There are ways to have a cute bug. This is not a cute bug. This is a bug that looks like the kind of thing I'd be like trying to scoop up in a cup and let outside if I found it on my wall. The Ketchawacha. You know what, Ketchawacha, I'll be on. Let's get that out of the way. Ketchawacha is a smash. Ketchawacha is a funny flying squirrel creature. It's got a cute little snoot thing on its face. It swings around. It laughs at stuff. Catch-a-Watch is nice, and it's got it's very like soft and fluffy on the outside. I think that's a worthwhile. I think this one's worthwhile. Let's smash for Catch-a-Watcha. Then we move on to Tetsukabra. Now, Tetsukabra does have really pretty scales, like that bright orange and blue combination is nice, but it's also really horribly ugly and aggressive. It's, yeah, just, no. It's a giant cave toad that just wants to smash you into paste. So yeah, you get a pass from me. That's a pretty strong pass. Nerscylla. Now, I'll be the first to say that spider girls are very good. Spider girls are great, even. But Nerscylla is not a spider girl, it's just a giant poisonous spider. And its body has poisonous minerals growing out of its back. It also is intelligent enough to know how to both skin another living animal and then wear its skin as a cloak. Remember Gypceros? Remember the weird rubber bird that we talked about at the beginning of this presentation? Nerscylla it hunts Gypceros, skins them, and then wears its skin for camouflage. So as much as I love spider girls, yeah. I don't feel like becoming a skin suit. That doesn't sound pleasant to me, I'll be honest. No Gypceros were hunting the making of the video. Indeed, this is just an image. Any Gypceros harming that happened is already long in the past, and, well, it's at the fault of this big spider you see right here. Moving on, we have Zamtrios. And Zamtrios, while it is ice-based, it's also just a very aggressive giant shark that covers itself in spikes. It's not comfy. This is not a very comfy monster. The only comfy part, right? The only comfy part about Zamtrios that I will bring into question is the fact that it can, in fact, transform. It can shapeshift by absorbing cold air into its body, and it becomes a big chubby shark for a little while and rolls around. So Zamtrios is very squishy, like a third of the time. For a third of its life, it is a big squishy shark balloon. But for the other 2/3 of its life, it's a big angry shark, and then it's a big angry shark with ice armor that will stab you. So as cute as the shark balloon can be, this one's gonna be a pass. If I made a distinct slide just talking about Zamtrios in the balloon form, that might get a smash, but I didn't. Now, anyway, moving on to our next one, we have Najarala. Now, snakes are pretty cool. Snake girls are also very cool. But unfortunately, Najarala is not, in fact, a snake girl. It's just a big snake. And it has paralyzing venom. And it's really loud. Because it's able to fling scales off of its body. Right? All these scales that you see. It can fling them off of its body and then make them reverberate and explode with a really ear-splitting shriek. It is the first snake wyvern, which does earn it some points. Credit where it's due. But I think this is going to be another instance of a shaky pass. Where, like, there are parts of Najarala that work. There are parts of it that work for me quite a lot. Its color scheme is very pretty. I like snakes. The snake is nice. Overall, it has a very appealing face, I would say. Kind of reminds me of what Nargacuga has going on, but, you know, more snake-like. but it has like the big beak, as you can see. But it will unfortunately be a pass from me. Yeah, if there was a way for it to be quiet, that would actually probably help the situation a lot. Yeah, paralyzing venom, plus, so you not being able to move, plus it's screeching at you, more or less, from all directions with its scales. Like, this is a rattlesnake, but if its entire body was made out of rattles. Which isn't exactly great. So yeah, that's going to be a pass. Celtis Queen, here we go. Back to what Oren was saying earlier about the simp situation for regular Celtis. So the Celtis Queen, she grabs her drones with this big tail of hers right here. And then she crushes them into submission until they hang around. And that's the kind of Dami Mommy that I don't want. Like, if we were looking at Black Diablos as the good kind of Snoo Snoo, this is the bad kind of Snoo Snoo. So I'm going to pass on this one. This is the bad touch kind of Snoo Snoo. Like, Black Diablos is a Diablos in heat. So there's like a certain reason for it. This one's just, she's just like this. She just likes to crush people. It's the kind of Dami Mommy you'll take without the spikes. Fair enough. Fair enough. As I've said before, everyone's entitled to their own respective views on each monster. But I personally will pass on this one. Now, did I skip anything? No, good. Malfestio. We have Malfestio as our next one. So, we're just gonna hit this real quick. So, Malfestio. This is a level 3, this is a true charge smash right here. Malfestio, it is the Owl Wyvern. So, hey, personal bias. Admittedly. This is one where I will personally admit to the bias being very real. This puffs up too, I think? Maybe. Maybe when it... a key factor... So, let's continue discussing the monster itself. A key factor of Malfestio is the ability to spread a hallucinogenic powder that can make you disoriented. Which, I mean, hey, that could lead to some fun times. Right? You're partnered up with a Malfestio. You get puffed in the face by some of the, some of the fun stuff. That could lead to some interesting situations, I believe. It can also go invisible. Although that is technically a subspecies, but I included it here. Not really a subspecies, it's like it's a special variation. Anyway, it can go invisible as one of its important factors. I think this is, yeah. Malfestio is a triple smash. They're not a particularly hyper-aggressive monster either, they're just kind of standard. Pretty good. All in all, pretty good. We like the bird. Darin Moran. Yeah, so here's the thing. Jean Moran at least tries to look at least a bit decent. Like, sure, it's a giant living mountain whale. But at the very least, it has the decency to not be covered in this many spikes and ridges. Darin Moran is the more violent cousin to Jean Moran. And while they both have that, Herald of Prosperity thing going on, where they have minerals growing on their back, this one is a lot less worth the risk. Jean Moran, I'm willing to make it work, which is why I said smash then. This one, I am not willing to make it work. This one's a bit too aggressive. And a bit too spiky. So yeah, we'll pass on Darin Moran. Gormagala. I mean, it's ill. Like, Gormagala has a sickness. Its body's like covered in decaying scales that can make you sick and make you crazy. Its face looks like a xenomorph. It's exceedingly violent because it's constantly in pain. Like, its body is trying to molt all of these scales off. That's... no. Yeah, we're gonna pass on that one. Maybe a double. Can make you a zombie. I mean, more or less, that's effectively what the frenzy virus has going for it. But yes, that's going to be a double pass there. But here's the thing. So I see you bring up Shigaru, Lax. The thing with Shigaru is that it has overcome the decaying scales. This one has molted and is now fully, like, it's in its true form, more or less. It has fully molted off all of the decaying scales and is now just a dragon made of light. It does still have the same problem of spreading the frenzy virus, but it's a lot less of a problem, let's say. Because at the very least, its body isn't coated in frenzy virus, it just spreads it with its flames. But it does still have a effective... It does... Well, yes, of course. The frenzy virus is still a factor here. And while appearance-wise, it is immediately a huge upgrade over regular Gormagala, Shigaru is still very much a threat. So yes, this will be, it won't be a double. Like Gormagala was a double, this will be a regular pass, because at least it's overcome literally being sick and dying, more or less. Not dying, but constantly in pain. Now it's just a dragon, it's an evil light dragon. It's gonna tell you to be not afraid. That's, yeah. This is the biblically accurate angel of the Monster Hunter universe, I'd say. Or one of them. There's another one we'll get to later. But yeah, Shigaru will just be a regular pass. Glavenus. Yeah, this is another example of, wait, too much fire and too many spikes. The main factors that work against monsters in my ranking. This is going to be a pass from me. Too sharp, too spiky, too much fire. Now, let me see real quick. Just checking on stream stuff again for a moment. Okay. I think we're good. Tail is also danger. Well, yeah, that falls into the same category of too many sharp things. So yeah. Let's continue. Yeah, Glavenus is just going to be a pass. Regular pass. Doesn't outright disgust me, but definitely not something I want to be around. Astalos, though. Oof. Let's just hit that right there. So this one takes all the aspects of creepy bugs. It has one of those, like, it has, like, one of those, what are they, earwigs? It has an earwig tail. Yes, we're up to the Fated 4 at this point. So, yeah, earwig tail, that's a negative. I don't like the pincer tail. Its color scheme is not exactly pleasant. Like, visually, it doesn't really do anything outside of the wings. The wings are, yes, the wings are a good call. And especially when when its body electrifies, because it does have electricity. When its body electrifies, the wings illuminate, and they look very pretty. But that's about the only thing pleasant about this monster. Astalos is one of the most aggressive things in nature. It actively picks fights with other monsters just because it wants to. Because it enjoys fighting things. Like, if an Astalos sees a Rathalos flying around, it will just immediately drop everything to attack the Rathalos because it wants to fight it. They're a bit much. Oh yeah, and also, yeah, Lightning Sword. All these positive factors. All these various, just absolute positives that make Astalos a good partner. The fact that it can generate a beam of lightning out of its face. Yeah, no, Astalos is a double pass. I'm not dealing with that. Now we have Mizusine as our next one. Mizusine. I think Mizusine was actually a pretty good one. Here's the thing. Mizusine. It's basically a fox dragon. It's not classified as a fox wyvern, but it may as well be. Like, if fox wyvern was a thing, it would be one. So, you know, fox girls, huge plus. I believe Mizusine is canonically male, though. I want to say, at least the Mizusine that you encounter. So, more or less, Mizusine is the Astolfo of Monster Hunter. It's the attractive pink boy of Monster Hunter. It's extremely fluffy. It's clean, as I see Oren has already called out. Yeah, no, Mizusine, that's, you know what? Yeah, Mizusine, that's a triple. Mizusine has a lot of good going for it. Especially relative to most other monsters, Mizusine is absolutely a triple smash. The first thing you hear when you come back is that monster is Astolfo. Well, it is. It is the femboy of Monster Hunter. Anyway. Yeah, triple smash on Mizusine. Then we have Gammoth. Gammoth is a big lady. She is a giant mammoth lady. And you know what? While the first two, you blue ball them in every quest. I suppose that is technically accurate, Oren, in regards to Mizusine. So yes, on to our next one, Gammoth. You know what? I gotta do it. It's a giant fluffy mammoth. She would be extremely nice to cuddle with. And you know, temperament-wise, Gammoth is mildly aggressive. But I mean, we've already said triple smash for Black Diablos. Smash return. Oh yes, no, seriously, I'm very much hoping that a lot of the monsters that were distinct in the 4th generation and didn't show up in World or Rise, I am hoping they'll come back in the next one. So yes, Gammoth, very much a triple smash. Now let's see here, in terms of what you missed, Phobia, I think it was mostly 3rd generation. Let me look. Hold for a moment. Okay, yeah, you were away for the last chunk of 3rd gen and like the first, well, actually most of 4th gen. Anyway, back to this. How is Gammoth not an Iceborne? Yeah, it's definitely a miss. I feel like the only reason Gammoth has yet to show up is because out of the 4, it's generally the least popular. It should come back, though. It's a shame that it hasn't shown up. You were searching for carols? I understand there. It's all good. Welcome back to the lecture. And your internet died, Lax. Ooh. Hold on for a moment. Pretty much, I mean, not much. We just moved on to the monster after Mizusine, which is Gammoth, who is a triple smash, because big fluffy mammoth. Anyway. Moving on. After her, we have Valstrax. It's gonna get me killed, but smash. This one is the most dangerous smash of them all, but it's one I am willing to take. Because Valstrax is immaculate. Look at this thing. It's the jet engine dragon. Like, yes. This would be a difficult one. This would be an exceptionally difficult one But damn it, Valstrax is a smash. And, like, everything about it should be a negative in terms of, you know, smashability. But it's a smash. Love the design. Smash if the flames turn off. Indeed. The flames are only active when it's using them. Otherwise, it's basically just a giant silver eagle dragon thing with fancy wings. Anyway. Yeah, that's the smash on Valstrax. Not giving it more than a smash because that's a little bit too generous given how deadly it is. After that, we have Delamadur, and I do like me some snake girls, but this is a snake girl that might be a little too dangerous for me. For one, Colossal, one of the biggest creatures in the series. Delamadur can strangle mountains and leave imprints, and its body is covered in 1,000,000 spikes. It has 1,000,000 blades covering its entire body. This one is a bit too dangerous. And while the size differentials would keep you from being, like, impaled on the spikes, necessarily, you don't have to worry about that. The problem is still the amount of danger presented by Delamadur. Yeah, no, are we going to discuss Frontier? We'd be here for another several hours if we went into Frontier. So unfortunately, I did exclude Frontier monsters. There's only 2, technically, which are the Frontier monsters that have shown up in the main series. Although I could at least bring up a cup once we get to the end of the lecture. I'll include that with the bonus section. I'll just grab the Frontier monsters that I would smash. And we can talk, and I'll just bring those ones up, maybe. Now, yeah, Delamadur, where was I? That's gonna be a double pass from me. Do a part 2 for Frontier? I could. Can maybe do a follow-up at some point. The problem is I don't know if there are enough Frontier unique monsters, but I could still probably it'd still be a decent stream. Yeah, okay. I'll keep that in mind. Let's see, so we've got Delamadur, that's a double pass. Gogmazios is up next. Let's see here, Gogmazios. Now, I was going to say, ooh, oil. Lubricant. I was going to say that. And then I remembered, oh wait, no, its oil is actually just black tar. It's molten black tar that is extremely sticky and will set you on fire. It's also exceedingly violent and covered in weapons. Like, its body is its skin is covered in weapons. No. No. Like, no. Like, blocking out its face with all those, with that triple cart. That laser's reminding me of the Eggman voice tub. Yeah, no. Big no there. Triple cart. Ooh, that reminds me of all the times I tried and failed to defeat Gogmazios back in the day. Until I eventually finally did it. A triple cart is both thematically appropriate and accurate to the smashability of Gogmazios. Anyway, Nakarkos is up next. So for Nakarkos, this is another one where it's just impossible to cuddle with. It's another monster with sticky stuff, and not like fun sticky stuff either. It's sticky stuff that it uses to attach bones to its body. And all that sticky stuff makes it extremely uncuddleable. Because it's covered in spikes. It's covered in bone spikes. I don't want that. Yeah, no, that's, on the bright side, at least the final boss monsters of the 4th generation are scary. They're definitely very intimidating. Alright, yeah, Nakarkos triple pass. And then up next, we have Atal Ka. But at the very least, we get to end on a positive. Now, Atal Ka. Let's go through all the details about her. We have this cool mantis-like spider thing, this golden mantis monster, who also uses... She's able to create webs, exceedingly durable webs, that she uses to build stuff, including a giant mech. This is kind of her, this is her magnum opus right here. Honestly, just for how creative she is, she would be an absolutely wonderful partner. I'm just saying, Atal Ka is wonderful. I'm going to give her a double smash. Actually, no, screw it. Yeah, triple smash. This is the first bug girl this is the one and only bug girl in Monster Hunter that I can think of who is absolutely undeniably a smash. So she gets a triple smash. Also, can you just imagine all the stuff you could get up to with those webs? Right? Can you imagine all the stuff? See, Phobia, you're on the right path there, Phobia. Look at that. Look at that right there. This guy gets it. Anyway. Yeah, Atal Ka is a triple. At least we end Gen 4 on a very high positive. She's good. Atal Ka is very good. We like Atal Ka here. And that leads us into what is currently the final generation of Monster Hunter, the 5th generation. Do you get extra points? Sure, you get another gold star. Let's see here. I don't know if I've already given you a gold star tonight, but I have given you a gold star now. Let's see here. 5th generation. So this spans Monster Hunter World all the way to the end of Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. And you have a gold star as well. Hey, everybody's getting gold stars. That must mean you're a very good class. This has been a fun lecture so far. I hope you've been enjoying your time. So here, someone is thirsty. I mean, yeah, there's a reason why I made this entire presentation 52. There was an inspiration as to why I made this thing. So yes, we're on to the 5th generation here. And to start with, we have Great Jagras, the big iguana. Now, I've said it several times already, especially in the 3rd generation. I'm not really into vor. And Great Jagras literally vores smaller monsters to feed its children. I don't want that. I'm not interested in that. It has some funky dreads, so if you like dreadlocks, there you go. But, yeah. And it has it has a friendly face. It's an iguana. But yeah, I'll pass on that one. That's a pass from me. Great Jagras gets a very safe pass. I mean, so do birds, yeah. But also, I don't want to get vored by a giant iguana. Anyway. Great Gyros, the other great from the World game. The other great monster. Great Gyros, we have another it's more paralysis. This is another paralysis monster. And we have talked about paralysis having certain appeals for certain kinds of people. I personally am not interested in the paralysis, although I do like the snake. I do like the snake part of this thing, right? I like its face. Its scales are probably really nice. But yeah, I'll pass. Also, you'd have to deal with its house. Great Gyros is the kind of, you know the kind of girl where it'd be like, all right, this is my place, and then like you walk in, and there's just garbage all over the floor everywhere. And she's like, yeah, the couch is right over there, and then it's just like a pile of garbage. That's Great Gyros. That's where she lives. So unfortunately, yeah, you're also gonna get a pass. I like the look of Great Gyros, but that's a pass. Up next, we got Kulu. And Kulu's fun. Like, Kulu's fun, right? It's just this cute bird. It goes around, it grabs stuff, it digs. It eats eggs. So you don't gotta worry, like that's a plus, right? You don't have to worry about it's not necessarily a carnivore, it just eats eggs. Yeah, you know what? Intelligent. It is on the more intelligent side of monsters. Yeah. Yeah. Kulu gets a smash. I could say smash for Kulu. Kulu's nice. Zitzi, on the other hand, this... If we're talking about what monsters to correct, Zitzi is the correction monster. This smug lizard that walks in, flashbangs you, and runs away. I want to ruin this thing. I want to ruin Zitzi really hard. And not in a pleasant way. Anyway, double pass. Zitzi gets a very aggressive double pass. It's a nuisance. It's the rat of the Coral Highlands. Well, kind of. We'll get there when we get there. Puke Puke. Puke Puke. Now this is... What do I have to say about Puke? I mean, considering that we smashed on Chameleos, and Puke is effectively a micro Chameleos. It's micro Chameleos, and it's covered in feathers. I don't like its eyes. I'll be honest. I don't like Puke's face very much. I don't like Puke's face, I don't like the noise that it makes, and I think its tail is creepy. And, like, sure, like, you know, what that tongue do and all that. This is a reluctant smash. This is another example of, like, if I could just put a blindfold on it, you know, just so I don't want to look at the eyes. I don't want to look at these eyes. That's all. If I just had a blindfold, we'd be good. Everything else is okay, I guess. Yeah, let's say smash on Puke. Tobi Kadachi. Put the tail in some. Tobi Kadachi. It's cool. Yeah, I like Tobi Kadachi. It's a snake. It's an electric snake squirrel. Yeah, electric snake squirrel. It's got some fluff. Yeah, you know what? Tobi's nice. Sure, we'll smash on Tobi. So far, World is doing okay. So far, Monster Hunter World is doing okay on the smashability. Low res up close. I think that's just like, it's motion blur. I'm pretty sure it's motion blur in this image. So yeah. We'll say smash on Tobi. Anjanath. Okay, here's one that I can very confidently just like... There we go. Anjanath's not good. It's a large, aggressive T-Rex creature with creepy shape-shifting body parts. It has a giant creepy nose that it can extend out. It sneezes this like disgusting mucus all over stuff to mark its territory. And like, sure, it has some fluff on it. I don't want it. I don't want Anja. I'm not interested in Anja. Like, this is another example of what would be like bad Snoo Snoo. This would be the bad Snoo Snoo. The only good Snoo Snoo is Black Diablos, as far as I'm concerned. Giratodus. Ugh. Here's all the if I could do a fourth one, I would. Giratodus. It's a creepy mudfish with a gross-looking face, a creepy-looking mouth. It probably smells horrific. This is a giant swamp fish. No. Just no. Just every single level of no on this one. Ugh. Paolumu. Okay, so Paolumu. I kind of want to say Smash, but here's the issue with Paolumu. Its general way of operating is infuriating. I hate the way Paolumu acts. I think its face is kind of creepy. Like I don't like that it has like a sunburnt rat face. Like if it had fur on its face a bit more, I think I wouldn't hate it as much. But I don't like its face, especially when it gets all scrunched up when it roars at you. So it's another example of just like if I had a paper bag, if I had a blindfold / paper bag to just put on its face, everything else about it is a plus. Everything else about it is totally fine. Which is why I'm going to say regular Paolumu is a pass. However, Nightshade Paolumu, I don't hate it as much. I think the color scheme makes me like this one a lot more. Because when its face, it doesn't have the sunburnt face anymore. It just has like, it looks like a bat. It just looks like a bat now. I think it really just is the fact that it has like this bright pink face that looks sunburned. This one isn't sunburned, and I don't hate it. I actually like this one quite a bit. Sleeping gas? It's a sleeping aphrodisiac, right? Sleeping aphrodisiac. And it's not going to eat you. These things don't eat meat. So you could just get like, you know, you get blasted with the sleeping powder, and then you're cuddling up with it. That'd probably be the best night's sleep you could ever have. Yeah, no, I'm gonna give a smash to Nightshade. Pass on regular, smash on Nightshade. That's what I'm gonna say. Then we have Legiana up next. Yeah, I think Legiana is really pretty, but it's got yeah, no, it's gonna be a pass. Legiana is really pretty. It's a very, very pretty monster. But it is an insufferable monster. It's another one that just exists to be annoying to anyone around it. Because yeah, like it screams at you, it's gonna freeze you solid. It creates like a layer of ice on its body anytime it does something ice related, which would probably hurt. Yeah, no. Got a lot of like angular parts despite looking really pretty. This one is the kind of thing where like looks pretty on the outside, but I would hate to be anywhere near it. Like you look at Legiana, you admire Legiana from a distance, and then if it even remotely comes your direction, you just go away. That's a pass from me. Radobon. Ooh, Radobon. Yeah, this is just Nakarkos again. This is just Nakarkos again. That's a double pass. It's just covered in bone spikes. There's not much you can work with there. It's just generally unpleasant. Odogaron. Just no. It's literally a skinned dog. It's literally a skinned dog with horrifying looking claws. Ugh. Yeah, no. Like there's a reason why this thing lives in a pit at the bottom of the world. Because it would die if it saw sunlight. Not literally, of course, but yeah, no. It's a triple. It's gonna be a triple cart from me. Triple cart so I don't have to look at it anymore, because it's gross. They're fun to fight, though. Credit where it's due. Fighting Odogaron is quite fun. You're like dancing around, but appearance-wise, that's a huge negative. Dodogama! Dodogama's just a delightful, chubby lad. Dodogama is adorable. You know what? They get boom, boom, boom. They get all of it. Dodogama gets all of it. They're also extremely docile. And The fact that Dodogama is as docile as it is a huge plus. Like, they're only dangerous when you threaten them, and then they, you know, spray explosive minerals all over your face. But other than that, pretty good. Yeah, no, I want to squish the tummy. I want to boop 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 boop. Anyway, yeah, triple smash on Dodogama. Dodogama's a good. Dodogama is very good. Basil geese. Basil juice. Whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call the explosive pinecone machine. Yeah, that's... I feel uncomfortable when I look at it. I always feel really uncomfortable when I look at the, pine cones. But I don't get it. It's like it just generates explosive pine cones off of its body. Explosive mommy GF. Oh, believe me, I've seen the artwork. I've seen the Gajenka artwork. Hell, the artwork that I used for my thumbnail. If I have a link to his stuff in the description. If you're interested in Monster Girls, I highly recommend checking out his pics of DeviantArt. But that doesn't really factor into the fact that Basil Geese is freaky. Basil juice, whatever. Anyway. Yeah, triple pass on Basil. I'll pass. Bonbaro. Bonbaro. This one, I'd say Bonbaro gets a smash. It's a moose dragon, more or less. It's a big moose ram dragon thing. And it's extremely fluffy, and it has a nice looking face. Like, I'd want to cuddle with a Bonbaro. I mean, hell, especially considering that we said smash on Duramboros earlier on. Territorial, sure. Yeah. I like it. I like Bonbaro. I'm gonna say smash. Bonbaro is nice. Beatotus, though. Oof. Yeah, Beatotus is a pass. If you smash the moose kill your friends. Yeah, no, if you can reel it in, if you can reel in the violent tendencies, or like the territorial tendencies, Bonbaro would be perfect. Yeah, Beatotus is a pass. It's a creepy ice fish. It's got a scary face. I don't like it. The only nice thing is that it's very colorful. Fun to hunt, sure. But if fun to hunt was a factor, then Odogaron would have been a triple smash, because Odogaron is like the most fun thing to fight ever. Yeah, no, I think Beatotus is very colorful, which is why I'm not giving it like a super negative score. It's just regular pass. Yeah, Beatotus, it's okay. I don't like it. It's a pass. Zoramagdaros. So this is another Godzilla situation, like Lao. This is another Lao Shenlong situation. I just... no. It's another sentient volcano. So much like Dire Morales, this is gonna be a pretty resounding triple pass, I think. This is another triple cart. I'm not down with it. It's a giant dying volcano dragon. It's a volcano dragon in the middle of dying. Yeah, no. That's... it's not it. Zoramagdaros can go. Up next we got Nergigante. This is just like... it's difficult. This one's just too difficult. Nergigante's too difficult to cuddle with. At the very least, he doesn't have an element that's working against you. Oh yeah, no, there's definitely some artwork of Nergigante. There's definitely a certain variety of artwork of Nergigante. Anyway. Yeah, there's just... it's like, here's problem number 1, and problem number 2, and problem number 3, and problem number 4, and 5, and so... there's a myriad of problems with trying to get with a Nergigante. Oh, believe me, that's why I linked MuHut in the description. Because, yeah, you can find a lot of Monster Girls stuff from the artist who drew the thumbnail. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, it is cool. He doesn't need an element to still be a strong Elder Dragon. But it doesn't change the fact that he'd be a terrible partner. He's just a savage spike ball. Yeah, no, that's a pass. Valhazak, ugh. Yeah, I'm not into necro stuff. I'm not into necro stuff. I think that'll be a very resounding triple pass. I'm not even gonna elaborate. Not into necro stuff. Bye. I feel bad that was followed. I feel bad that Kolv had pass on the screen for a minute, because Kolv Teroth is a triple smash. I like to see that everyone's been keeping up with their homework. I like to see that everyone's been keeping up with their homework down over here, and over here, and over here. So Kolv Teroth is the star of the show for me, because she's the one I picked for the thumbnail. You have the Earth Mother of Gold. Not to mention her entire fight is effectively one giant striptease. Yeah, we're rich! I like that progressively over the course of this lecture, I have just dropped all the professionalism I tried to start with, and now I'm just being super casual. That's what a good lecture is like. That's what a good professor does. They drop the barriers, and they just kind of let it all loose by the end of the lecture. Because they know we've been here for like almost 3 hours. We've been here almost 3 hours talking about which monsters we'd want to smash. But we're getting close to the end now. So yeah. We're rich. Kolv Teroth is amazing. I love Kolv Teroth. I don't even hate the fight. I actually really like the Kolv Teroth fight, too. Yeah, no. Kolv Teroth is top tier. For sure. For sure. 100%. Not even a question for me. She is very good. Also, she is definitely a monster I've seen some of the most fan art for, of a very particular variety. Anyway, Kolv Teroth is very good. Triple smash, for sure. Velkhana, we're on a roll. Velkhana gets a double smash. The ice is a little bit dangerous, but the ice is also exceedingly pretty. And, in addition to the ice being really pretty, it's not there 100% of the time. Ice Blight. Well, that's why you just gotta wear Blight Resistance. Here's the thing. You have to build an armor set specifically for monster smashing, and Blight Resistance is one of the primary factors you need to consider. Never walk out of the house without your Blight Resistance. It is the protection that you need when you're smashing monsters. Anyway, Velkhana gets a double smash from me. Easily one of the prettiest Elder Dragons, 100%. One of the absolute prettiest Elder Dragons. For sure. Very much a smash. And she knows it. That's the other thing. Like, Velkhana knows that she's gorgeous. She's not like the modest, extremely pretty. She's extremely pretty, and she acts like it. And she deserves to act like it because she's right. She carries herself like a queen in battle. So yeah, Velkhana's good. That's a double smash from me. Namiel. So Namiel's face, or Namiel, whatever. I don't really like Namiel's face. I think its face is a little creepy. Teacher, what direction did I take my life to be here? I don't know. You're the one who decided to take, I'm trying to think of a good course name that would be accurate. What's a what's a good name for this course? I kind of just barged in here half drunk and was like, all right, here's my lecture on which monsters are breedable. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. You're the one who decided to take the course on monster breeding habits, monster biology. This is monster laying and slaying. That's a good one. That's a good one, Oren. All right. Anyway, Namiel. Back to the main point of this whole thing. I don't like Namiel's face, but I like everything else about it in theory. Because think about it. Imagine it wrapping you up in those wings, and it's got like the light show it's got like the mood lighting going with its wings. It's got like the little like tendrils waving around. You're always lubricated because water. Kind of like water slime type stuff. It's a little bit slime like the stuff that Namiel uses. But it's not like gross slime necessarily. I don't know. I'm giving Namiel a smash. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Namiel is a smash. It has the mood lighting. It only has one real negative, and that's having a creepy, like, it has like a deep sea fish face kind of thing going on, right? Like it literally has the face of some kind of deep sea anglerfish type creature, or like a shark or something. But everything else is really good. So yeah, Namiel gets a smash. Then we have Shara Ishvalda. And Shara Ishvalda makes me fear for my life in many ways. Shara Ishvalda is a triple cart pass. I'm not sticking with Shara Ishvalda. A little bit on the freaky side. It looks like this, like we were talking about, back with Shigaru Magala. Back with Shigaru Magala, we were talking about biblically accurate angels. This is the biblically accurate angel monster. This ancient Hindu god that was living inside a mountain. And it came out screaming. And it wants you to know it. Yeah, no. We're gonna pass on that one. There we go. I don't know why the music was getting, like, into some weird stuff. Anyway, Charishvalda. It's creepy. Not a huge fan. That's triple cart. It's a triple pass. Xenojiva. Xenojiva is interesting, but it's a little, I don't know, once again, it's a monster that's a little too fiery for me. It's a freaky alien that was birthed out of a crystal. Still 0. I mean, it's a dragon, though. It's a giant, freaky-looking dragon. But it's thrashing around like it's a, like, feral creature that was just born, which is definitely not helping its case. Believe me, this is definitely a pass. Appearance-wise, it's a really pretty-looking monster, but it's definitely a pass. I'm down with aliens, but this is an alien that I'm not interested in. So yeah, pass on Xenojiva. Safijiva. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. You gotta let it cook for a little bit. That's the thing with Xenojiva. You gotta let it cook for a little bit. Too many spikes? I mean, it's mainly just on the tail, right? The rest of its body is fairly standard for dragons. This is another example of, like, classic dragon that's doing it right. Similar to Fatalis. Although, where Fatalis is, like, a little bit of... I don't know, like, Fatalis is a bit more sleek. Safijiva is, like, bulky. You know what? I'm gonna get Safi, just because I really love Safi. Just because I really do love Safi'jiiva, it's getting a smash for me. So it's literally, it's another example of, hey, presented the opportunity, I'm going to smash a godlike being, because why not? You gotta take those opportunities when they're presented to you. Like, are you going to smash the god dragon? Are you gonna smash this mythical being? Because I would. Anyway, yeah, Safi'jiiva's a smash. Great Izuchi. Okay, so we're done with World. We are now done with World. Moving on to Monster Hunter Rise. This is our final leg of the journey. We are on the final leg of the journey right now. So let's see here. Great Izuchi. This is another great that I would definitely make a case for because it's a bit fluffy. But the sickle tail, like the sickles, kind of freak me out. Like, in pretty much every way besides the sickles. Frontier at the end. A little bit. I might grab a couple Frontier things during like the wrap-up section. It's either that or I'll just do a separate one specifically for Frontier. I don't know. One or the other. We'll think about it on the way. But yeah, Great Izuchi. I mean, I like Great Izuchi's face a bit. It's another great that I would make a case for, similar to Macau. Like, Macau, I had to think about it for a bit, but it's like, you know what, Macau's nice. And Izuchi is decently, like, it has some positives, so, sure. Why not? Smash on Izuchi. I haven't had a drink of water in a bit, so give me a moment here, friends. Okay. Ooh, back into it. So, Tetranodon. I think this is the last time I need to say this. I'm pretty sure, with the monsters that are remaining. I'm not really into Vor, I'll be honest. Because, yeah, Tetranodon does Vor you. Its grab attack involves it eating you and sticking you in its belly for a little bit. I'm gonna pass on Tetra. It's funny. It's a funny looking monster, and it does have a squishy belly, which is nice. A squishy belly is pleasant, but I also don't want to get vored. Aknosom. Aknosom has some really nice dance moves. Like, credit where it's due. Aknosom can move. I like that aspect of it. So, let's see here. Aknosom, it's got some good dance moves. Otherwise, I do think it's really pretty. I like that it's a crane. Got like that cool head frill, similar to Kutku. It's basically a phoenix, really, when you break it down. Yeah, because it's a bird with fire powers. Yeah, we'll smash on Aknosom. Aknosom gets a nice regular smash. Bishaten. I think Bishaten's funny. It's a Tengu, and that's pretty cool. I think I'm gonna pass though. A little bit too much of a prankster. Like, where Kechawacha kind of just likes hanging around. Like, Kechawacha likes swinging around on vines. Bishaten actively likes annoying you. Likes throwing fruits in your face. And obviously there's, you know, room for correction there. There's room for brat correction in regards to Bishaten. I'm not down. We'll pass on Bishaten, I think. It's a bit too much of a jerk. And then we move on to Somnicanth. This is another sleep monster. It's effectively, you know, it's a siren, it's a mermaid, it's one of those types of things. It's a sea serpent with sleeping powers. I'm just thinking, right? Cause it's it'll just like spray the sleeping mist on you, and then you get to cuddle up with a weird mermaid thing. These streams are terrible for my sleep schedule. Oh, believe me. They're not too friendly for mine either. It's a good thing that I am, you know, a night owl. Because this is kind of regular for me. Yeah, don't worry, friend. Don't worry, cringe. We're getting toward the last leg, so if you can hold out a little longer, you can go to sleep soon. But anyway, Somnicanth, I'm gonna say smash. Goss Harag. I think Goss Harag is kind of freaky. To be honest, I think Goss Harag is a little bit too freaky for me. He's just he's a giant, aggressive yeti. He's got a scary face. He freezes his limbs in order to fight things, and like that's just kind of, yeah. They're like really aggressive. It's kind of a lumbering brute. Yeah, no, I'm gonna pass on the yeti. Maybe a double. Because Goss just kind of freaks me out. I'm gonna give him a double. Almudron. This is another mud monster. Only this time, the mud is molten hot. Pass. Not only it's drooling mud, it has mud leaking out of its tail, and the mud will burn you. It's a giant like, it looks nice. The monster itself is fine. I hate the mud. The mud is a huge negative, so yeah, double pass on Almudron. And that leads us into Rachna-Kadaki. Yeah, the spider broodmother is a little scary. The spider broodmother is a little bit creepy, I'll be honest. This one, at least this one's not skinning monsters and wearing their bodies like a coat. Like, at the very least, Rachna... Like, at least Rachna isn't wearing the corpse of another monster as a robe. But it's still a freaky looking one. I also don't like the face. Well, yeah, no, you know, reason to smash. It's, yeah. It's a spider broodmother. That's the thing, I'll be honest, I don't know if she's just like reproducing asexually and just like generating little spiders, because she does it constantly. Like, she's able to just create a giant egg sac on her back and just generate spiders. I don't know. I don't like Rachna very much. She kind of freaks me out. I'm gonna give her a double. Like, reason to smash, sure. But yeah, nah, it's a double. Magnamalo. She has a well, I don't want to live inside a giant spider. I don't want to live inside a giant, scary-looking spider. Magnamalo. Yeah. I'm gonna say pass. He's just a giant... He's a big demon. He's able to leak explosive gas out of his body. He's yeah, nah, he's kind of freaky. That's gonna be a pass from me. Then we have Narwa and Ibushi. Just gonna give them a double. The mouths are horrifying. I really don't like what their mouth looks like. They're technically married. Well, we already looked at, Rathian and Rathalos as a couple. So the idea of being the third has already been brought up. Although this is a situation where I'm not interested. I'm not interested. The face ruins it. This is one where the face absolutely ruins it more than anything else. Like, at least Narwa, like I was saying, Narwa has like that MILF energy. Narwa the All-Mother and all that going on, right? I don't like their mouths. Maybe double is a little too harsh, but definitely a pass from me. Definitely gonna be a pass. Up next, we got Espinas. Technically, Espinas, at least in the main series, is in Sunbreak. That's why I put it so late. Like, I could have put Espinas back in, like, first generation, technically. Because he's like the big poster boy for Monster Hunter Frontier. Like, the original poster boy for Monster Hunter Frontier. And while I will say Espinas, I like its general temperament. See, like, that's a good point you're bringing up there, Orin. It's very sleepy. And, like, Espinas only fights when something bothers it. Otherwise, it just lazes around. It just hangs on tropical islands, curls up in, like, a cave or up against a rock, and just sleeps. And when it's sleepy, it's fairly cute. But this is another instance where the physical side of things kind of creates a bit of a difficult situation to manage, because Espinas, as you can see, is also covered in spikes in every inch of its body, much like Nergigante. And this time, they're not just plain old spikes, these are toxic spikes that will poison you horribly. So, personally, this is going to be a pass, but not anything higher than a regular pass. Simply because, you know, the general temperament and vibe of Espinas is fine. If it wasn't so dangerous to be near, like, if it wasn't so dangerous to go near an Espinas, it would be perfect. I love it. Espinas would be super nice to sleep. Like, you just, like, curl up next to one while it's sleeping. Like, that'd be really nice. The problem is, if it rustles around, you know, the Espinas means spikes in Spanish. Yes, I did know that. What was it? Anyway, yeah. The only problem, though, yeah, if Espinas even rustled around just a little bit, and you got poked with one of those needles, all of a sudden you need, like, a bunch of antidote to keep yourself from dying. It's super toxic. So yeah, unfortunately, it is a pass from me. Then we have the poster monsters of Sunbreak. We got Garangolm. And Garangolm's cool. He's a big lazy gorilla. Kinda cool. I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate Garangolm. But I don't think I would smash. I definitely don't think I would smash. It's probably going to be a pass from me. It is a fairly chill monster, though. He's just a big monkey. Yeah, too many hard surfaces. Too difficult to work with. And, yeah, and if you did piss it off, it would be really mad at you. It would get super dangerous. Lunagaron. This thing is super pretty. Right? Lunagaron is insanely cool to look at. Like, this is another appreciate from afar kind of monster, because if you did go near it, it would rip you to shreds very, very swiftly. Like, I'd love to watch a Lunagaron running around on the mountains, but in terms of smashability, this one's not exactly a smashable monster, as far as I'm concerned. Like, it is a literal werewolf, and that is pretty cool. But, meh. I'm gonna give that gonna be a pass. I want to say smash, I really do, but I can't justify it. Then we have Malzeno. Okay, so Malzeno's a difficult one. Because, yes, everyone knows that vampires are very sexy, right? Everyone knows that vampires are the classic sexy monster, right? Or one of them. But see, and you bring up a good point there, Oren. You beat me to it. I'm not down with the parasites. If it was literally just a vampire, you can make that work. But the fact that it's covered in, like, leech bats, it's covered in parasitic bats that have sucked the life out of it. and it's effectively just it's just a husk. Malzeno is literally just a husk for the Curio. So it's a lot less vampire and more just decaying zombie that's being kept alive by a swarm of bats. I don't like it. It's a bit creepy. Bit too creepy for me. That's gonna be a pass as well. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, the poster monsters of Sunbreak are all passes. Then we have Geismagorm. I really don't want to know what that mouth do. The Abyssal Archdemon is scary. It's gonna be a double pass. Yeah, screw it, a triple pass. Very, very solid triple pass. Just Vor. Oops, all Vor. Imagine if that's all this was. It was me just taking like Goble, Nibblesnarf, and Geismagorm, and that was the whole list. It's just like, nope, no Vor for me. Oh, and Great Jagras. Yeah, no, triple pass. Nah, not a fan. Makes really cool looking armor though. And I did decide to include, of course, because, you know, he's the final monster of the current generation, Primordial Malzeno, the true Malzeno. This version of Malzeno is 100% a double smash. Primordial Malzeno absolutely gets a double smash at least. For one, it's an Elder Dragon. It is an Elder Dragon that is not actively aggressive. It's territorial, sure. But more, it's actually, you know, fighting against the Curio. And that's really cool. It evidently is also quite intelligent. It's capable of showing gratitude. Like, you save it from the Curio in the final battle, and then it doesn't try to fight you immediately afterwards, like, alright, let's pick up where we left off. Instead, it leaves, because it's like, thank you, I'll see you later, but if we cross paths again, I might have to kill you. It's an intelligent, noble Elder Dragon, and it's another one that is kind of non-elemental. Whenever the Curio aren't involved, it actually only really fights with its own body. It has no elements. And yes, it fights with its body as though it is a sword and shield, which is a very interesting style. This is a stylish, sexy monster that deserves to end off our list with a resounding double smash. I really do like Primordial Malzeno. And it actually manages to look even cooler than regular Malzeno when it is corrupted by the Curio. So yes, anyway. Yeah, Primordial Malzeno. That is a double smash from me. And we did it! We did it! We made it all the way to the end. That's every major monster in Monster Hunter ranked on a Smash or Pass scale. Oh boy. That was a lot. That was a lot, especially since we were going into detail. It wasn't just smash, pass, smash, smash, pass, pass, pass. It wasn't just that. Tried to put more emphasis on specific factors and whatever. Frontier? We'll get to Frontier. Hold on. Because here's the thing. We're not quite done yet. You see, there is one last section. What score do you get? You've been fairly attentive, so I'd say you get a good score. You get a good noodle. That's your score. Your score is good noodle. Everyone got the score of good noodle, because you were all paying attention as far as I can tell. But anyway, there is one thing left that we have to do before we wrap things up. Because there is a very important factor of Monster Hunter. Something that is the whole reason we can talk about the monsters in the first place. There are those people who handle all the annoying paperwork to get you out on the field so we can actually admire all the sexy monsters out there. And they deserve a place on this ranking too. You got it, Oren. The lovely quest ladies. Yes, we can't forget the quest ladies because they're important. that is maybe the most important part of Monster Hunter, because this is the one that everyone gets all uppity about. Is how good is the quest lady gonna be in the next one? Is the quest lady a top tier waifu or not? So yes, let's just wrap this up with the lovely quest ladies. For starters, we got Becky, and yes, I am using their names. I'm using the names that I think are accurate. I don't know. I'm pretty sure these are all the accurate names. Anyway, we got Becky. She's the classic one. She's the original quest girl from the very first Monster Hunter. And she's nice, right? Classic kind of like barmaid type look. Let's see here. Going for the night cringe. Alrighty. All good. Thank you for hanging out. And hope you enjoyed all the rankings. Hope you get a good sleep. So yes, we're going with Becky. While I like her, she's nice. There is this to consider, though. There is this very critical detail right here. Though she is a guild receptionist, Becky is also secretly an elite guild knight. She sometimes investigates the rooms of hunters and kills those that break the rules of the guild with a single smash of her hammer. She also occasionally goes on hunts by herself. It's a little spooky. That's a little bit spooky. But so long as you are not a naughty boy, or girl, whatever. So long as you're not a naughty hunter, you're probably fine. But given the little bit of danger, I'm going to just give her a regular smash. Becky gets a smash. Becky, let me smash. Or odds are Becky will smash me. Anyway. Yeah. Becky gets a smash. Then we have Patty, the guild girl from the second game from Puck Village. And, you know, she's got the classic, like, cute village girl vibe going on. She's nice. She's very sweet and adorable. You know what? That's a smash. Sure. Another regular standard duty smash. She's very, like, vanilla, I would say. She's on the more vanilla side of guild girls. Then we have Aisha, the newbie guild girl. Actually, maybe this is just nostalgia talking. This might just be the nostalgia talking. But Aisha gets a triple smash. It's probably just because of my memories of starting my adventures in 3 Ultimate. The second one. I gotcha. I understand what you were referring to, Oren. Yeah, Aisha, she has so many good factors. The leg wear is very cute. She has like these little she has like leg warmer things with the sandals. She has this skirt that looks really nice. I like the puffy sleeves. The puffy sleeves are really cute. The hat is very important. A lot of good stuff going on with Aisha. We appreciate Aisha here. Also, she tries her best despite the fact that her quest notebook is messed up and is all blank, so she's kind of just trying to guess. But the nice thing is, she always tries to help you out, and that's the important part. So yeah, Aisha, triple smash. Then we got Konoha, the Monster Hunter Portable Third girl, the Yukumo quest girl. I doubt there's as many people familiar with this one, considering Portable Third is... I want to say it's slightly less played. But Konoha's nice. She, you know, from a hot spring village, pretty laid back and nice. She's cool, and I like the pants. The pants are nice. I'll give her a regular smash. Konoha's very nice. Kathy. I mean... we gotta just... This might also be nostalgia talking again, but, like, come on. The Sailor Girl. This is... I'd say this is maybe the most iconic quest girl out of the, like, the Nintendo era. Like, out of all the third generation quest girls, between Aisha, Konoha, and Kathy, I think Kathy is the one that's the most iconic. The multiplayer quest girl for Tanzia Port. Very nice. The sailor outfit, you can't, you know, You can't miss the sailor outfit. You can't miss with the sailor outfit. It's very nice. Yeah, triple smash on Kathy. Then after her, I believe it is... There she is! Sophia, the Guildmarm. I just... Instant gut reaction. Hell, I mean, she's probably the type of person who would greatly approve of this this entire presentation. Considering that she herself is a monster file. she's the one who sends you on the quest to collect Brachydios slime because she's super hot for Brachydios. I'm not kidding. That's a legitimate quest in the game. She invites you to join her monster file club, where they talk about how sexy monsters are. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm the sole member. You want to join?" Sophia's great. Also, she like makes plushies. She's like cute. She has like the cute office lady thing going on. I like her cape. I like her cloak. The hat's nice. The glasses are good. She's your teacher / office lady, thing going on. I love her. She's great. Sophia's great. And she has a cute nickname. She calls you Doodle. Very good. Sophia's nice. Then we have Luce. She is I think she's the online... I want to say she was she was the quest girl for online mode in Generations Ultimate. Very specific. She's a very specific quest girl, but she is one of note. Yeah. So she's from the 4th generation, and yeah, I like her vibe. She's like energetic, spunky explorer girl. She has like the flight attendant thing with the little cap. I like the gloves. The gloves are cute. The bag is nice. I like the little keychain of the chef from Generations. Yeah, I like her. I'll give her a regular... Maybe we'll give her a double. I'll give her a double. I like her vibes. She's got good vibes written all over her. The kind of girl you'd want to go on an adventure with. Then we have the handler. Now, hear me out for a minute, because I know there are a lot of people who don't like the handler and find her annoying. And there's a lot of people who take that a step further and use, hey, because she's annoying, she's also ugly as hell. So, and then people just like dogpiled how awful the handler is. I don't hate her. I honestly really like the handler. I think she's fine. I understand that she can be annoying in some instances, but overall, I think she's fine. And you want to know why she's fine? You want to know the real reason why she's fine? Because she can be anything you want her to be. She can be whatever you want her to be. You want her to be the Guildmarm? You can do that. You want her to be a chef? You can do that. You want her to be Chun-Li? You can do that. Do you want her to wear a cat onesie? You can do that. You want her to be a bee girl? That's an option. You can put her in a swimsuit. You can put her in a cute fluffy coat for winter. And best of all, you can make her into a sexy goth girl. I rest my case. This isn't even all her costumes. You can even turn her into a succubus if that's what you're into. That was like the final costume they added for her, was just literally a succubus. I'm not kidding. She can literally be whatever you want her to be, and that customization earns her the triple smash in my eyes. Now granted, if you could replace her with the serious handler, who I did not include on here because she's technically not a quest girl. Yeah. If I could put the serious handler on here, she would be a much easier regular smash. So I like her vibe a bit more than the handler, but yeah, no, this is so good. I like the fluffy coat a lot. That's like my favorite one. It's that and the goth. Those are the ones that I tend to use. Like I had her wearing this one for all of Iceborne because yeah. Let's see here, what did you miss? Ooh. Probably like the final leg of things, also ranking the other quest girls. Hold up. Oh yeah, like you missed the last section of monsters and then like the first couple quest girls. Alright, anyway. After that, we have Hinowa and Minoto, and I mean, come on. They're the childhood friend archetype. They're the big sister archetype. They're the so on and so forth. They're the shrine maiden. They're the elf girl. They're the dragon girl. They're everything. They have everything going for them. Oh man. Yeah, no, Hinowa and Minoto. That's a triple for sure. Easy. Very easy triple smash on Hinowa and Minoto. And then finally, we have Princess Chiche. And you have to respect the hustle on Chiche, right? She's the princess of a kingdom, and guess what? She's not spending her time sitting in a throne room or anything. She's like, no, I want to be on the front lines helping out the knights to defeat the evil monsters that are threatening the kingdom. I want to help them defeat the evil that is threatening our kingdom. And you gotta appreciate that, right? You have to appreciate what Chi-Chi is. You have to appreciate her vibes. Also, she's another one where she's like trying her best to be a good quest girl, even though she's new at it, which is always really cute. She's another example. She also has the cute thing right here. She has a little like plushie hanging off her bag. The outfit is top tier. The glasses are good. Yeah. That's a smash. I'm gonna give her a double. That's a double smash. Hinowa and Minoto still win in a lot of categories as the Rise quest girls. But for Sunbreak, Chiche definitely she's doing it good. Okay, and that's everything. Whew. 3 hours later, and we've done it. I need to stretch a little bit. Oh, man. That was a fun time. I've been very excited to go through this whole thing. Granted, I could have been through with this thing in like an hour if I was just, you know, doing the classic like, oh, smash, pass, 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 smash, pass, smash, pass. If I was just doing the standard smash or pass thing. But I liked going into detail on each one. It was fun. So yeah. Yeah, I'll have to put together some of the ones. I'll have to gather up a bunch of the frontier monsters. That one will definitely be a lot shorter, I can tell, because while Frontier does have a lot of unique monsters, I don't know if I'll be able to go into as much detail, since I'm less familiar with Frontier outside of the ones that I really like. But yeah. Anyway. Oh, man. With all that said, let me put away my... Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Was in serious mode that whole time, too. So yeah, anyway. Let me kill the music as well. Thank you all very much for hanging out tonight. Hope you had a fun time as we went through all those rankings. I wonder if anyone will tally up how many I said smash on. Or, like, go through and do that. That'd be interesting to see. Like, I have a general idea in my head of all the ones I said smash for, but yeah. Anyway, thank you all very much. As always, I appreciate a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. I also have my community Discord link down in the description if you're interested in that. And I have a Streamlabs donation link down there as well, if you'd like to support me that way. And that should wrap up this week. Yeah, definitely didn't do a lot in Try. Try had a bit of a lacking, not a very smashable lineup there. But yeah, this is going to wrap it up for this week's streams. I still got to put together what exactly I have lined up for the coming week. I'm thinking it's probably going to be, I'm probably going to be doing a few Splatoon streams, since there's a Splatfest coming up next Friday. Well, next weekend, technically. So probably going to be doing some of that. Gonna have my Elden Ring randomizer, a little bit more of that. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll have another schedule posted probably sometime tomorrow. And yeah. Hope you all had a fun time here tonight. Whatever your time zone is, have a good day, have a good night, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Take care.